Let me have a Diablo sandwich, a Dr. Pepper. Make it fast. I'm in a goddamn hurry.
I gotta tell you, he's kind of an Ed Till young man cow mix.
Yay! Go me. I have a small pea. Oh.
In certain extreme situations, the law is inadequate. In order to shame its inadequacy, it is necessary to act outside the law, to pursue natural justice. This is not vengeance. Revenge is not a valid motive, it's an emotional response. No, not vengeance. Punishment.
Tonight we have a chance to say, yeah, you're right. We're too extreme. We're too wild. We're too out of control. We're too full of our own shit. Or we have a chance to say, hey, fuck you, you're wrong. Fuck you, we're right. Because you have all made it to the dance. Because believe me, this is the dance. Start the show.
Good morning and Merry Christmas. Look at Pretzel Rock's bots. Picks right up there as soon as you... I don't know if I say it or if I'm playing a track from it.
I think if you're playing from it.
I think they're pretty good. Pretty good. Good morning, Merry Christmas. Did you tell them Merry Christmas?
Merry Christmas,
These are the
boys and
people
girls.
paying your bills now.
Merry Christmas.
These are the lovely supporters of the Steel Toe Morning Show. Merry Christmas. April asked me just before we went on, she said, what are your expectations for today? With it being Christmas and all. I said, none.
Zero.
I have no expectations. Over 100 people while the intro was playing. Hey, if this was a morning show, but since it's Christmas Day, whatever we get.
Yep.
That being said, if it's under 100, I'm leaving and I'm going to stick my head in, well, I won't say, but you get the idea. No, I'm not expecting normal morning show numbers. I'm not even expecting normal evening show numbers. Whatever we get, we get. You guys, there was one level 5 hype train we got earlier this week, and we said if we get through level 5 of this one, it needed some coaxing. It was like getting to 90% every level and then stalling out with like 30 seconds left. And we say, you know what? You're right. You guys don't need to just give. We should be giving you something back in return rather than just, by the way, Flaccid Lettuce just did something that he tried to do, and I got to give him credit. It succeeded.
Did it
succeeded. He tried to knock me off my train of thought by appealing to my vanity for statistics, and it worked. He goes, 7 viewers, you fucking rock. And I looked, and I'm like, wait a minute, it was climbing to 140 when I last looked. It was not at 7. He got me. So congratulations. I have no idea what I was saying. Anyway, we should give them something back, I thought, rather than just the wonderful entertainment we give them every day. So we said, if we get through level 5 of this hype train, we'll broadcast for a couple hours on Christmas. You did it. This is the end result. Thank you very much. This isn't going to be some, dick around for 2 hours, kind of just give you guys something. What's on my tabs there? Did I prep?
A lot, yeah.
Did I prep? I prepped a lot. I prepped a lot. So we got a show for you. You know what I'm noticing coming from radio going into streaming and podcasting, and I noticed this about that ex-Bubba guy who's all bitter now, is that you can't just build this universe for yourself and then live in it. You'll never grow.
No.
You know, you got to talk about what's going on every day. You got to bring people interesting stories they don't usually hear and then talk about topics because that's how you grow. That's how new people come aboard and go, I really like what you guys are doing. What if I just talked about our inside shit all the time? It would be great. Yeah, it would be great for the audience we have.
Right.
What is it this month? I'll pull it up. I like having a co-host in here with me so I can have affirmation, so I'm not lying or just cooking the numbers or anything. But we have over 13,000 unique viewers so far this month. Over 13,000. I think it's 100,000 live views so far this month. So we have all of this audience. If we just talked about the shit that's kind of inside to the show, That group, those 13,000 would be happy,
Yep.
but how are you ever going to get to 20,000?
It alienates new people.
Exactly. And do you know how many people in the chat show up? Well, the Bubba people, for example. How many, or even not even the Bubba people, just people who come in, like that guy from Forest Lake, these people from the UK, they go, never heard of your show, just stumbled onto it. Love it, it's great.
Right. But if we're talking about inside stuff.
Right,
they're
if I'm
not
just sitting here
included.
talking about the old radio station all day, or you and I go into the casino later, nobody's going to give a shit except the people who already gave a shit.
Yep.
Exactly. So I want to teach a class. Broadcasting for absolute stupid shitheads, because anything smarter than an absolute stupid shithead, I can't teach them anything.
No.
But if you're an absolute stupid shithead, I can bump you up to just basic level shithead.
Something to work with. I
Right?
mean, they don't already know like what the crappy radio life's like.
That's a good marketing angle. I can take you from stupid asshole shithead to just regular everyday shithead. That's a realistic goal. And if you're in self-help, all these people, they promise you the world and then you come up short. I say, promise them like, I'll get you an apartment with a sink that doesn't leak through the floor and give you dry rot. And then that way, if you get them a really nice place, they're so grateful because you went above and beyond. Mm-hmm. Set the bar low. That's what I always say. You do that with your relationships. Self-deprecating Christmas humor, jingle bells, motherfucker. All right, 200 bits from Skater Bay. Let's catch up with the chat. You guys are wonderful human beings, some of you. 1,000 bits from Get Some, 1,000 from
Thank
Cable
you.
Dog, 181 from Mutant at Table 9. Still my favorite screen name, I think. Yags gifting a Tier 1 sub to Jay Johnsgard. Where's this guy? Where are you from? A hype train
wow.
already, you pieces of shit. I love you.
guys.
Thank you.
Holy crap.
Jay
Christmas
Johnsgard,
hype.
where are you from in Minnesota? Wouldn't you like to know? I'm from Saskatchewan, Minnesota. Aren't we? Guy Germain, Edina, Minnesota. Adam Banks, Edina, Minnesota. Charlie Conway, Minneapolis, Minnesota. Dwayne Robertson, Austin, Texas. Name the movie. Name it.
I can't name it.
Name it.
I can't name it.
Somebody
I don't
name
remember
it and get the number right afterwards as well. 100 bits from Matt's Miniature Horse with a choo-choo involved. 100 bits from Tom Servo. Yes, Minivan Dad. D2, The Mighty Ducks. Have you seen any of the Mighty Ducks
Yes,
movie?
I have. It's just been so long.
Have you seen
honestly.
D2?
I have. It's been a long time.
2 minutes for
Those are movies where I watch
roping.
it a whole one time and probably never again.
So you're not as autistic as I am. You can't repeat the movie even though you haven't
Not
seen
that
it for
one.
6 years.
Right.
Okay. Thank you to Panda Broski, who just went with 2750. Thank you. We got through level 1. Iceman with 500. Schwarzenbond at tier 1, a subscriber. CVR subscribing with Twitch Prime. Holy shit, guys. Thank you. Cable Dog, my favorite. If I say that my favorite guy from the Bubba Army, am I going to make somebody upset? He's one of my. He's one of my favorites.
He's very giving.
Yeah, he's very giving. I like all of them. I love the Bubba. By the way, Bubba Army. Bubba's been on a little bit this week. Has he said anything about Steel Toe? I'm a bit of a mentions whore. I'm curious. I'm nosy that way. We're already at level 3, 56% of the way there. Cable Dog with 100 bits.
Wow, thank you guys.
Schwarzenbond gifting a tier 1 sub to Anna's Juicy Ass. There's a Bubba person.
Jeez.
I'll bet that puck, if that puck was a cheeseburger, you'd stop it. D2, the Mighty Ducks. 300 bits from Skater Bay. Schwarzenbond with another tier 1 sub being gifted. Seth's Anxiety Puke, another Bubba Army person. Redbeard's another one of my favorites from the Bubba Army.
He's very giving too. I hear him a lot.
Yeah, we should have a Bubba Army like beauty pageant to decide which one's my favorite. You should all parade around and, just kind of show your admiration for Steel Toe and Steel Toe Joe and MS Johnny. And Bubba never gave you a name.
He doesn't know who I am. He just likes to
When we talk on the phone, he
talk
just
down
calls
about me.
when we talk on the phone, he just calls you that broad.
Yeah.
She goes, "Hey man, how's that broad doing?" And I'm like, "He's pretty good, Bubba." "Yeah, you know what? You should either put a baby in her or cut her loose." I'm like, wow, that's real family.
Is that
fun.
what he said?
Yeah, all the time. Yeah, I don't talk to Bubba on the phone. Stop it. If he called, I'd answer. I should offer dinner reservations for us tonight. Maybe he'd like to fly up to Minnesota.
Yes, let's do
The
that.
weather's wonderful here. If you're in Florida right now, it's just, let me explain to you how great the weather is. As I look outside, there's a frozen hellscape with a mixture of frost and snow on the ground. It looks like Winterfell in season 6.
It's a whole -1 degrees right now.
Reezy gifting a tier 1 sub. Thank you, buddy. Schwarzenbond gifting a tier 1 sub. We're at 93% of the way through level 3. Thank you, guys.
Thanks.
More gifted subs from Reezy and Schwarzenbond. 300 bits from Mutants at table 9. 200 bits from Slimpy Dillweed. Oh, guys, I'm sorry for missing so much in the chat here. Merry Christmas to all of you.
Yes, Merry Christmas.
Big Wrench with 500 bits. 45 from Viking Clan Gaming.
We're edging again.
We are edging 95% of the way there, but with 2.5 minutes left. I mean, why even be worried? How's it going? Merry Christmas. I still like Johnny Crutches better than MS Willie.
I do too, actually. Where did MS Willie come from?
Bubba. Bubba coined
I know,
MS Willie.
But
Because Bubba does a thing, Seth told me, he does this thing purposely where he dicks with people's names to kind of mess with you a little bit. It's kind of like when you shake someone's hand. Sometimes a guy will put his hand on your shoulder to kind of give you the shake test to see what kind of a guy you are. So Bubba gives you the shake test by screwing up your name. And if you go with it, it's like you're being submissive to Bubba. That's why Seth said, he goes, man, that was so funny when you called him on the name thing. Because sometimes Bubba will do that to people just to test them, to mess with them. And they'll just go, all right, fine, that's my name, I guess.
Johnny doesn't seem to like that name.
It doesn't matter. If you're MS Willie, you're MS Willie. Do you like Johnny Crutches? People saying they like Johnny Crutches way more. Okay. Just got through level 3. Thank you, Viking Clan Gaming, for gifting that tier 1 sub. So we're looking at about evening numbers, a little bit behind, but about evening numbers for this show. So thank you. Ice Cube Jones is another Bubba Army person who might be my favorite.
Wow, there's a lot of you in here.
You know why I like them so? You know why I like these guys so much? It's creepy how much like our listeners they are.
Yeah, it is true.
They come into our chat and they just fit right in.
They made the transition effortlessly.
Yeah, like it's really creepy. Like Ice Cube Jones, if I didn't know their names were associated with Bubba and they didn't relentlessly put up the Bubba Army emotes, I just think they've been with us the last 2 years we've been on Twitch. Yeah. 500 bits from Mr. Approachable. He says, here's your Christmas bonus. Thank you. 500 bits from the Mutants at table 9. 18% of the way through level 4. We have a lot of stuff to talk about today. I put a great mixture of funny, goofy shit and some real shit together for the show today. So we got a lot of that to talk about after the hype train's done here. And I'm kind of impressed with myself.
Yeah.
I'm impressed. I got to tell you guys, I'm impressed with myself. We could have gone on for 2 hours and just kind of dicked around, taking some calls. And, by the way, call-in numbers on the screen. You're more than welcome to call in if you'd like to. But I actually put some effort into this thing.
It looks like you put work in.
I did. I feel good about myself. I feel invigorated. We're going to the casino later today.
Yeah.
We got a beautiful suite at Mystic Lake in lovely Shakopee, Minnesota. It's a beautiful casino, hotel, resort, restaurant thing. And I'm very much that's you have that thing you're looking forward to in that day, and like everything else is an obstacle to it.
Pretty
you're
much,
just like, you're chomping at the bit.
It's like kids trying to get to unwrapping presents.
It's going to be difficult for me to focus today, but that's the only reason why. We love your calls. We love all that stuff. So feel free to join in to your level of amusement. 1,000 bits from the Mutants at table 9. Something I can spell, gifting a tier 1 sub. Bushwhacker says, at least you have something good to look at on your Christmas show. Yeah, you're dressed very nice today.
I did. I actually wore a dress today. They can't see it, but I'm wearing a dress.
You look very, look like I could make a little sundae out of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to unwrap me later?
Carry you apart head to toe.
You have one more gift coming later.
Oh,
so you know.
you've got a gift coming later. Mm-hmm. Maybe now.
Now?
The gift's coming now. Maybe it's a good thing I wore.
Gift.
Maybe it's a good thing I wear sweatpants instead of jeans. I don't want to wreck my nice jeans.
I see.
Who knows? Yes, Redbeard. Literally, that's what I was getting at. Crypto Trucker with 100 bits. Do a little spin, April.
Oh God.
You're forever a whore if you do that.
I'm not doing
If
that.
he gives you $1 and you spin, you're his bitch.
I can't do a twirl.
That's how it goes.
No.
If you do a twirl for 100 bits,
Here's the thing.
you're a sack of shit forever.
This is a pretty short dress
That's
too, but
sex work.
even if I stood up, they wouldn't be able to tell. It just looks like I'm wearing a blazer up top.
She's actually 4'6".
No, I'm not.
So she wouldn't make it
I'm
up past
5'7",
she wouldn't
thank
make
you
it past
very
the table. She wouldn't make it past the table.
5'6".
Ivan Yurkinoff subscribing with Twitch Prime. Hey, that's a year for Ivan Yurkinoff. Great job, buddy. Thank you. Yeah, see, look at this. April is as beautiful as ever.
Thank you. This is, in fact, a little black dress. It's very short, but it's like one of those blazer dresses. I feel professional.
I have a small pee. Oh.
100 bits from the mutant at table 9. He's a very generous guy. I effed up my Buick says, my girlfriend wants to see you.
Hey, I'm right here.
Don't say it in a sultry, weird tone.
I cannot do it.
You just come off sounding like an office professional.
Never worked a day in an office.
Yeah, bro. You put steel toes on and do lezzy shit. Right?
Yes.
We got someone.
I wear steel toes every day, actually.
As soon as this hype train is over, we have a story about the first person getting banned for using the S word on Twitch. We'll get to that. Oh, God, 52% of level 4, 50 seconds left. I was really taking this for granted.
Yeah, here we are.
Holy crap, guys. We're at the limit here for our Christmas hype train. 100 bits from Balls Deep. Thank you, buddy. By the way, last week's Bit Race winners, your prizes went out yesterday. They'll be there at different times. Crack Babies, did you hear about the Nashville explosion? My last comment got lost in the hype train. Oh, you know what, Crack Babies? You sent us a link. If you could send that again, I'd love to. Well, I wouldn't love to see that, but I'd be I saw that story you posted and I didn't get to it. There we go. Thank you, Crack Babies. 20 seconds left in the hype train. You guys got us to level 4. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you very much.
That's wonderful. 300 bits from Fruit Loop. We're at 56%, and it looks like that's about where we're going to wrap up, is at 56% of level 4 on this hype train. Let's just wait till the clock runs out, and there we go. Mutant at table 9 was situational ethics. Well, that would explain the generosity. Situational ethics was a very generous boy, too. Let's take a look at our goal. We don't want to set too many goals for these people. This is their reward show.
No, but I think we're very close to some big numbers.
We're close to some big numbers, guys, so we're going to throw some stuff out there. We're at 5,571 when it comes to followers, so if we can get to 5,600 followers today, that would be sweet. 3,296 at subs. It'd be a shame not to at least push for 3,300. That's only 4 more subs, so we're not going to get weird on you. And look at this. Unique viewers. That means different human beings who have viewed this channel. 99,939.
Oh.
I would love in the next hour and 45 minutes if that number could change over to 100,000.
Wouldn't that be beautiful?
It's like watching the odometer roll over.
Yes, it's very exciting.
So if we could do that, that'd be great. Quick car question for you guys. I just feel like a lot of the Bubba people would be car people too.
Oh, God. I know what you're going to ask.
I haven't been able to get in for an oil change these last couple of weeks. We've been so damn busy, and I'm about 1,200 miles over for this oil change. It's no joke. And we got to do about, 200 miles of driving in the next couple days?
Yeah, and we've already done how much this weekend?
Yeah. It's got to, look, we're obviously going to be doing the driving. I mean, we could take your vehicle. Meat Trape says...
It's not as comfy, though.
Synthetic. Yes, it is synthetic. Bowtie says, what kind of car? It's a 2019 Chevy Tahoe. Oil change bid again. Get some new material. I hate steel toe chat bouncer. You are fine. I go 10,000 miles between oil changes. Okay, but we're at about 10% oil life on the thing.
So
should we... I mean, would it pay to dump a little oil in there, or is that just who gives a shit?
What I usually do if I'm running low is...
But you're a girl.
I get my oil changes done on time.
Oh, let's swing our dicks and see which one hits the ground first.
I was going to say check it. Like, actually open your hood, check it, look what it looks like. Maybe go buy a little extra oil, put some in. Just to give it a little clean stuff.
People are saying don't add unless it's low. Just keep it full, not over
That's
full.
why I'm saying let's check
it's fine.
it first.
Check your oil. If it's not too dark, you're good.
Dipstick.
Yeah, we'll just check it. We'll just do the old check. I can do that. I mean, I know how to look at oil and tell when it's good or not.
Baby.
Don't you tell these people that.
Really old.
Don't you tell these people you'll look at my oil.
Cold for you.
I'll check your oil. How do you like that? Is that going to be a thing? Can I check your oil?
Sure.
Can I see if you're too dark on the inside?
I can't wait for the hotel later. You've really got something coming.
We should probably get that out of the way when we get there, because I'm gonna do a little cocktailing. Vikings play at 3:25, and we're playing the Saints. We're gonna get the shit kicked out of us. You guys who have Brady in Tampa, man, you guys are lucky.
You know what would really be just the worst thing is if the Vikings actually pull this one off.
No, you know what would be the worst thing? If the Vikings win and the Cardinals and the Bears lose, and we go into a situation in the last week of the season where all we have to do is beat Detroit, and Arizona loses to the Rams, which they're going to do, and the Bears lose to the Packers, which they're going to do. If the Vikings win this goddamn game today and give me hope, and these other two teams lose and put us in a situation where we most likely make the playoffs when all we'd have to do is beat Detroit, I'm going to be pissed. Because you know what's going to happen if we beat New Orleans?
Huh?
We're going to lose to Detroit.
Yeah,
We're going to lose to
I
Detroit.
know.
We're going to screw up the whole thing. God
I don't want to see
damn
us
it.
win anymore.
There's rumors about us trading Kirk Cousins to San Francisco.
Oh, really?
At the end of the year.
Yet.
I
Okay.
heard a rumor about it. I don't think it's going to happen. We'd have to draft a new quarterback, and I don't know if we're going to be drafting high enough with we're going to be 7-9, 8-8, or 6-10. We're going to be one of those three records.
It can't get much worse than what we're at.
If we could draft Trey Lance from North Dakota State, Minnesota boy, I wouldn't mind that.
Okay.
Otherwise, they're talking about us trading for Sam Darnold from the Jets.
Oh, no.
Ooh, I would not. Or getting Carson Wentz from Philadelphia.
If you had to pick one, who are you going with?
Carson Wentz, but here's the problem. A guy with a really bad knee. We did that before in Sam
gets hurt a
Bradford.
lot.
Yeah, I think he might be shot. You're probably not old enough to remember Dante Culpepper.
I know the name.
Okay, well, Dante Culpepper was, people can argue with me on this or not. Dante Culpepper was the best Vikings quarterback I've ever seen in my life. Unbelievable. You know, Dante Culpepper was kind of a prehistoric Patrick Mahomes. He was 6'6", 255 pounds. Massive guy.
Okay.
Broad in the chest. Arm like a fucking howitzer. I mean, this guy could, on the run, back foot, gun one 60 yards on a rope down the field. But one of the things that made Dante Culpepper amazing was that he was 6'6", 250, 260, arm like a cannon, but could run. So imagine he was a guy, he'd literally take off running. You know how quarterbacks will slide?
Yeah.
He could lower his shoulder into a linebacker, run over a linebacker, and
Really?
keep going.
Okay.
Dante was a beast. He was unbelievable. He tore his ACL, he wrecked his knee, and when he came back, he was never the same.
Yeah.
You get a guy like that who his whole thing is he can move. He's not a pocket passer. He's never learned to be a pocket passer. He had to learn to be a pocket passer and just fell apart on him. He just fell apart. It sucked. But he was putting up, okay, to give you an idea, Peyton Manning early in his career was already setting records. Best who ever lived. Unbelievable. He was throwing for, in 1 year, Dante Culpepper threw for 48 touchdowns and 4,000 some odd yards. He was unbelievable. Oh my God, was he good. It was like 2003. It was he was the MVP of the league for sure. Mm-hmm. Only Peyton Manning threw for 55 touchdowns and broke records that year. And if it weren't for Peyton Manning, Dante Culpepper would have been the MVP. He was the best quarterback we've ever... Look, I'll say he could have been better than Tarkenton if he'd have stayed healthy. He might have been our best quarterback of all time. He's certainly the best one I've ever watched. And Patrick Mahomes reminds me so much of Dante Culpepper. But his body gave up on him. And that's the problem with a lot of those running quarterbacks. And he wasn't a running quarterback, but guys who can move, you take a knee out from under him.
Yeah, I don't think I'd want Carson.
Yeah, a blown out knee, not good. How do you feel about Favre? He had a great arm, but was on the older side. That 1 year, he was phenomenal. I would still take 03 Culpepper over 09 Favre in a heartbeat. It's not even close. I'd take 03 Culpepper over 09 Favre. Because you know why? Culpepper doesn't make that throw across the body against the Saints. Culpepper lowers his shoulder into Jonathan Vilma, runs his ass over, and keeps going. Culpepper had baby-sized hands, fumbled for days. That was the problem. After he hurt his knee, he had small hands.
Yeah.
After he hurt his knee, he sat in the pocket. They'd hack the ball out of there all day long. Dante was good to start with, but then he couldn't hold on to the ball. Yeah, because he couldn't throw from the pocket. He had to move. He had Moss and Carter. Not true. He had Carter for 1 year. And that was it. So he had Moss, but, Peyton Manning had Marvin Harrison and Reggie Wayne. Two of the greatest receivers ever. Donovan McNabb had Terrell Owens. All quarterbacks have great receivers. Joe Montana and Steve Young had Jerry Rice. Troy Aikman had Michael Irvin. It doesn't make them less great. Dante had small hands. I'd keep Cousins over Darnold and Wentz. I can't argue with that. I can't argue with keeping Cousins over Wentz.
Yeah, honestly, I would agree with that.
I'll tell you this. Darnold feels like a step down. Wentz feels like a lateral move.
I don't agree. I think both sound like a step down.
Okay, fair enough. Warren Moon. Yeah, we had Warren Moon for 2 seasons. Warren Moon was he's probably the greatest CFL quarterback who ever lived. He went to the Oilers and was just unbelievable. And when he was about 34, 35, 36, he came to Minnesota and had a couple of really great years. It's just the team around him was absolute shit. Niners had Rice, Owens, and J.J. Stokes. I don't ever want to hear you. Are we playing a game of which one of these things does not belong? Jerry Rice, Terrell Owens, and J.J. Stokes. I would rather have Homer Stokes from Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? Brad Johnson was lit. All right, now you know what? Now it's getting weird. When things are so bad in the present as a Vikings fan that you're going, hey, you guys want to talk about Brad Johnson? No, I don't. Balls Deep says Stokes is the Jake Reed. Yeah, see, Jake Reed was good, but not anything to write home about. Ramsayer with 100 bits. Thank you very much, buddy. MN Vikings says Vikings always get lucky against the Saints. It's like for some reason,
right?
We decide to play our best against them.
I don't understand.
I don't get too carried away. Last year was great. Last year was awesome. We beat them. That was cool. In 2017, we pulled a horseshoe out of our ass. Mm-hmm. We blew a lead, and it took a 1 in a million play for us to win. I was there. It was unbelievable. I loved it.
I was screaming at my TV and watching that for sure.
But now looking back, I'll say this. They were a better team than us. They were beat. I mean, we had them down like 20-0, and they came back, and they were going to win the game. It took that play. If we ran that play 100 times, it fails 99.
Yeah, we had a horseshoe up our ass.
We had a horseshoe up our ass, and we found out how little we belonged in that stratosphere the next week when Philadelphia beat the holy shit out of us.
I think he's just saying against the Saints. It seems like it's a thing.
Yeah,
I don't want to see it be a thing this year.
I'd
rather see us lose and just kind of be done.
If we win and the Cardinals win, it doesn't matter. We're out. The Cardinals winning bumps us out of the playoffs. We're finished. But if they lose their next two, and I think they're playing San.
What's their record?
8-6.
Right, so they're not doing terrible.
Yeah, they're 8-6. We're 6-8. If we win our next two, and Arizona decides to lose to San Francisco and LA, which, I mean, those are losable. You can lose to those two teams. We're in. Chicago has to lose to Green Bay, and then we're in. It's just, I hate it. Let's just say we're eliminated. It's over. It's done, and enjoy 3 hours.
I was kind of hoping that'd be the case after the Jaguars game, but
yeah. Well, see, that's my thing about football. Is that don't get too invested. Enjoy the 3 hours of entertainment. Be glad you had it.
Right. We end up laughing at it usually.
Oh, most of the time. Most of the time. Let's jump into some things. 09. Thanks for bringing up 09. Appreciate it. I hope to God Arizona. Does Arizona play today? Are you guys sure about that? I thought Minnesota. I thought we were the only team playing today. I could be wrong. Sorry, guys. It's a Christmas stream. I'm sorry if you're new to the show. This is not what we typically do. It's a celebratory little Merry Christmas stream. We're going to get to some stories in just a second, including a streamer on Twitch who's already been banned for the new S word.
Right, which we will not be naming anymore.
Right, people thought that rule didn't take effect until the 22nd of January. And a woman, too. Let's go to Bram. Bram calling in today. Let's see what Bram has for the show.
What up? Merry Christmas.
To accept, press.
What's going on, buddy? Merry Christmas.
What's going on? Not much. Just laying in bed with my kids, listening to your guys' Christmas show.
Your kid, right?
He said his
no,
kid.
I'm not a kid. With my kid.
Yeah, with your kid, though, right?
Yeah.
Thank God. Okay, cool.
And my girl.
And your girl. Ooh, it's
Merry
a family
Christmas.
time. Merry Christmas, man. What do you got for the show?
Not a whole lot. Just thought I'd call in and say hi to you guys. Been listening about a year.
Oh.
I put you on every morning.
Well, thank you very much, man. Thank you for your support, and that's why we're doing the Christmas show today. Have a good one. Merry Christmas.
Yep, you too. Merry Christmas.
All right. That's just sweet. I mean, if they're not the greatest caller in the world, who gives a shit?
It's Christmas.
It was a nice, hey, guys, we love you. Thank you. Blah, blah, blah. Appreciate it. Stop reading the caller IDs. Some people want to be anonymous, and some names are inaccurate. I just said Bram, Minnesota. That's a town. That's a city. I didn't say his name was Bram. Bram Stoker. He's making a Dracula movie. All right, let's. Should we watch this explosion in Nashville?
Yeah, everyone's talking about
Everyone keeps sending this to me. Let's go ahead and put this up on the screen here.
I actually have family and friends that are visiting Tennessee right now.
Well, maybe not anymore. They might be all over the city. They might be spread out in different places.
Oh, shoot.
They might be guts on the dashboard.
Don't say that.
At this point.
Today, not sure what was going on, and you're just tuning in. Here's an update on what we know from the Office of Emergency Management. They tell us an RV that was in the center of the road there, parked.
That there, Clark, is an RV. Oh, no. Eddie, did you dick up Nashville?
You know
Why?
what he did? He was emptying his shitter into the gutter there, and somebody lit a match.
You know what? Somebody was, this guy named Lewis was about to smoke a cigar.
Yeah.
By the way, can I say this controversial take of Christmas Vacation? Lewis smokes too many cigars. You shouldn't be smoking that many of them in one day. You should be enjoying one. Why am I doing this so much? Thank God people can't see me right now. It's terrible. Yeah, they saw him emptying it into a city sewer, and he just yelled at the person, "Shitter's full." And then all this happened.
At 2nd and Commerce exploded, burst into flames in the middle of the road there, causing damage to several buildings in that area. That fire still burning.
Whoa!
Holy crap.
What the hell kind of RV was that? Is that the RV we dropped on Nagasaki? Look at the size of that cloud. And they said all these buildings are on fire?
Caused damage to at least 4 of them, they said.
Holy balls. That's a hell of an RV explosion.
I know.
The hell were you keeping in there? It's the Al-Aqsa Martyrs Brigade RV that we're touring through. I don't know. Mutant at Table 9, 100 bits for Christmas Vacation references. Thank you.
In that area, it appears they are waiting for that to burn out at this point, but, you know, we're working to get that.
I've heard it's better to burn out than fade away.
Oh, no. I thought it. I wasn't going to say it.
That's what makes
Keep
me
some dignity.
That's what makes me the entertainer and you the girl.
Yeah.
I think it.
Precisely.
It just you think about your reputation. I don't think about these things. People saying mobile meth lab. Oh yeah, you know what? That's what I'm putting my money on. Mobile meth lab. I mean, what else? And RVs don't explode like that.
No. There's something weird going on there. What if actually their sewage in there was super, super full and something caught a spark somewhere?
Mobile
Can that happen?
I get mobile meth lab. The only other thing I can think, and I don't even think it would make a smoke that big, the propane tank blowing up. They blow up the propane tank.
Yeah.
Maybe. But I agree with these people who say mobile meth lab. Why do you have
Christmas.
Why do you have an RV in that part of a city? You don't do that.
Right? Can you imagine waking up Christmas morning to that? Just an explosion outside your window.
You know what it is? That goddamn Kevin McAllister has gone too far. He finally did it.
Trying to keep the burglars.
He kept He got the wet bandits into the RV, and then he blew. Oh my God! He killed the wet bandits. This has gone dark. It's like if Jerry Bruckheimer took over the Home Alone series. It would just be Kevin McAllister luring Joe Pesci and Daniel Stern to their death.
Oh no.
Oh, by the way, I'm proud that I'm one of the few people who knows Marv's name. The actor who played him.
Severe autism.
Daniel Stern. Unbelievable character actor. We're the Sticky Bandits. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot. They're not the Wet Bandits anymore. They're the Sticky Bandits.
I mean, they're a little torched at this point. I don't think they're sticky anymore.
Now they're the Birdseed Bandits.
The Birdseed Bandits.
By the way, you guys ready for a controversial thing? You guys ready to absolutely savage April right now?
No.
Are you guys ready? I'll tell them my controversial Christmas movie take.
Okay.
If you can tell them mine, if I can tell them yours.
What?
Yeah, you know my controversial, the vacation movies, my
Yeah.
vacation movies take? All right, here's the deal. April here. Get ready to boo. If you're a bigger April fan than me fan, get ready to switch allegiances.
Nobody is, sir.
Call the banners.
Okay.
April says the best Home Alone movie
No.
is Home Alone 3.
I don't know if I ever said the best one. I just said it's my personal
That
favorite.
means it's the best one for you.
Is it?
Yeah. You just
We're talking about the one with the kid that's not
Macaulay Culkin, the one who's not Macaulay Culkin. Yeah, see, people go to hell, April.
Thanks, Aaron.
My kids say that too. With you on that. What? Wait a minute.
I like it.
I was hoping to start a revolution.
No, and this
Boo.
kid. No, this kid.
And I liked her up until now.
Right.
Never seen it.
Thanks, guys.
No.
Thanks, Aaron. No, this kid puts in extra effort too. There's 4 of them instead of 2.
I hate that kid.
Well, he hates you.
Is that the kid from Liar Liar as well?
And you know what? It might
I think
be.
it might be the same kid.
No, I don't think so.
He's Hideo Nomo, and Jim Carrey's Jose Canseco. 3 isn't horrible, but 1 and 2 are better. If you're gonna like the Home Alone movie that doesn't,
like them all.
But if your favorite's going to be the one that doesn't have Joe Pesci in it or the mom from Beetlejuice, the stepmom from Beetlejuice,
I love Joe Pesci for the record.
I'm not saying you don't love Joe Pesci. I'm saying it's disrespectful to his legacy. Dude, and Macaulay Culkin got raped by Michael Jackson to do those movies.
I believe
that little kid didn't get butt effed by Michael Jackson to make those movies.
I only said that because that's the one
Allegedly.
that I watched the most because my brother used to want to watch it so much.
Well, then your brother's taste is shit,
I'm going to watch it with him.
All right. Now,
God.
We've shamed you for your Home Alone take. Tie her up, she needs a flogging, some people say. Now people are arguing about which one's the best. I say the second one is the best.
I like them all. I
didn't say you didn't like them all. I said you like 3 the best, and that's...
Which one's your favorite?
Psychotic. 2.
2.
Yeah. 2 is my favorite, but I love them both. There's 2. In fact, you know what? Home Alone 3, ready for this? In my mind, not canon. It's not canon.
I really don't care. I'm not
1 and 2. 1 and 2 are canon. That's it. But also, what lucky devils. We get Steel Toe Morning Show today, a complete Christmas tree fire, 200 bits. Thank you. No, this is what April and I do. I will now. Do you mind if I put myself on the chopping block now and serve myself up to be
I ever care.
flayed by the audience? No, I feel guilty for display. I bet April likes Godfather 3 as well. Okay, no. Let's do something worse. He says you bet Godfather 3 as well. Have you seen The Godfather?
Yes, I have.
Have you seen The Godfather Part 2?
No.
It's okay if you haven't. That one's all right. But it's very good. You should still watch it. She just did see Scarface this year.
I love Scarface.
You've gotten through half of Tombstone.
Tombstone's great.
You've Donnie Brasco. I think you deserve a lot of credit for Donnie Brasco.
Love that one. What's another one we just watched?
Goodfellas.
I love Casino. I love Casino.
She does love Casino.
Love Casino.
What's a better movie now? Better Scorsese movie? Goodfellas or Casino?
Casino.
Ooh. Some people have that take, but you're definitely in like the hipster minority on that one.
Here's the thing. We talked
I like
about this
that's a brave take.
Your daughter the other day too. Like, I don't say things just because it's what people want to hear. I'm just going to say my honest opinion on something. I really don't care.
Fuck yeah.
I don't care.
Better Scorsese. Oh, have you seen Gangs of New York?
Yes.
Have you really?
That's a hard one to get through. That's a really long movie.
Can I say this? I've never watched a movie that simultaneously felt its length, like it feels as long as it is, but also is a great movie. I love Gangs of New York, but it feels as long as it is.
I cannot get through Gangs of New York in one sitting.
Nope.
I break it up.
I don't think I ever have.
I never have. I have to watch it in pieces.
All right, better Scorsese movie. Ready? I'm going to throw some at you. Goodfellas, Casino, Gangs of New York, Wolf of Wall Street.
Oh, Wolf of Wall Street is like one of my all-time favorites ever, so it's hard to top that for me. I love Casino so much, though. Goodfellas was okay. I love Casino. I don't know what it is.
I think when they give Wolf of Wall Street a little time, it'll be... I mean, it's already appreciated, but I think it'll be appreciated more.
I will watch Wolf of Wall Street every night of the week. Every night.
You didn't answer. So then for you, is it Casino or Wolf?
That's hard. It's hard to go away from a classic movie and go for the newer one, and I know I'm going to be shit on for that, but I love Wolf of Wall Street.
A lot of people in the chat say Wolf of Wall Street. They love it. I'm going to say Goodfellas was my favorite. Scorsese movie.
Yeah, that's not.
Wolf of Wall Street was crap. I couldn't stand it, says Major Fucker.
Really?
Wow.
That is a really deep take. I don't know if I've ever heard that one.
Look at us with Christmas movie talk.
I don't
on
know
our
if
fun
I've
little
ever
2-hour
heard
show.
somebody say that.
Aaron's Herps with 100 bits. We'd love to have your sub back, buddy. We appreciate it. Because we're at 32.96 right now. Again, not setting goals for the Christmas show, not guilting anybody. 32.96. We'd just love to end the show at 3,300. Not a lot. 5570 at followers as well. Raging Bull. Oh, yeah, that's right. Raging Bull is a Scorsese movie. I don't think you'd like Raging Bull. We can watch it sometime. But it's kind of like Gangs of New York. You're not going to watch it in one shot.
You know what I don't like?
What?
I don't like that you always do this thing where you assume I'm not going to like something, so you don't show it to me. Like, we've been trying to finish Kingdom of Heaven for a long time.
By the way, before anyone, but the people who know that movie, I'm not a piece of shit. The director's cut. Not the theatrical release. That's shit.
I don't think that was relevant. Awesome. I don't think so.
It totally, because if people know that movie, they're going to say, you fucking idiot. Director's cut.
Can I finish?
Aaron likes Dong. Thank you for this gifting a sub to Aaron's Herps. I'm sorry, I'm interrupting. Go ahead. I'm not going to interrupt you anymore.
I really like.
I'm going to let you talk about the movie.
Yes, fuck you.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I love Kingdom of Heaven. However,
Go to break.
we have kids around and we never are able to watch it when they're around. And then he turns it on after they go to bed. We've been so busy lately, I can't finish it. And then he goes and tells everybody that I just hate the movie and don't want to watch the ending. That's bullshit. You always do this. You don't let me finish watching. Like, I still remember Jojo Rabbit, all these other movies that we start. And just because I fall asleep, you're like, oh, you don't like it, so we're not going to finish it. That's not true. He's projecting. Always.
None of what she just said.
It's true.
Listen, none of what she just said is inaccurate. This is all true. However, I get insecure when I show people movies. If I feel like they're not really loving the movie, I'm like, oh, fuck, I look like an idiot now. And I tap out.
But
so
why
I
do
am
you care?
projecting. Jojo Rabbit is a great movie. We'll start that one over sometime.
What I'm trying to say is, you being you, why in the hell would you ever care if somebody didn't like a movie you liked?
Because I want people to like what I like, because I know what I'm talking about.
I love almost every movie you show me.
We'll rewatch Kingdom of Heaven from the start, and we will rewatch Jojo Rabbit from the beginning as well. Yes, relationship issues. Of course. Why not? Aaron does not let the broad finish. That's why.
Should have been at our Christmas last night.
Why? Oh, your brother and your dad wouldn't let you.
And you.
Yeah, but here's the problem. You know why they kept interrupting you?
Because it was funny?
No, well, yeah, eventually. But they also genuinely didn't give a shit what we got each other for Christmas. Like, they did not care.
We got each other very nice things.
Yeah, but they didn't care.
It was a funny bit. It just went on for too long.
Because they were committed to it, because they didn't care.
All right.
I felt it. And that's okay. They don't have to care. Oh, you know what I watched last night before we left and we missed out on the last 10 minutes? Glass, which for about the first 10 minutes of the movie, I was like, oh, great, we're going to watch. I didn't know at the time. I thought it was Unbreakable. I thought Unbreakable was called Glass. The Bruce Willis, Samuel L. Jackson movie from like 2000. I remember watching that one in theaters. It was one of my first like adult movies I ever watched in theaters. That sounded terrible. But so we go and watch. It was either that or Rules of Engagement with Samuel L. Jackson. And I thought that Glass was Unbreakable. It wasn't. It's a sequel to Unbreakable. And I have to say, watching Glass made me worried that if I go back and watch Unbreakable, I'm going to hate it.
Right. It was a really slow burn to it.
Not only that, James McAvoy. People saying James McAvoy is underrated. No, I thought he was terrible. I hate multiple personality movies. I hate guys because they're like, oh, man, he's so great because he's playing different people. No, guys, they get to cut and he gets to redo a scene with a different voice. He's voice acting, basically. I don't think that's amazing if you're playing multiple. Here's a multiple personality movie that I can get behind. It's, this one doesn't count. Fight Club. Because it's not, Edward Norton isn't playing both people. It's Edward Norton and Brad Pitt playing the same guy.
I don't mind the split personalities thing. I don't think it's like amazing because like you said, he can just cut and do different takes, but I don't not love it either. I think he's actually pretty good.
What do I know James McAvoy from? I've seen him in
my brother kept talking about
stuff.
the movie Wanted.
I don't know Wanted.
Wasn't that? I think that's an Angelina Jolie movie.
People really like Glass. Wow. Okay. Maybe I'm wrong then. I didn't.
Well, we missed the ending of it. And what I had said to Dad, too, you left the room for a second. I'm like, so is Samuel L. Jackson like just a cameo at this point? Like, does he have any role in here? And he said that it picks up, and we actually kind of missed the end. So
right. Well, Mr. Glass is this mastermind. Yeah. He's this criminal mastermind who is brittle, is all shit. In all fairness, Split is inaccurate representation. Yeah, okay, so Glass is a sequel. So you got the movie Split and you got the movie Unbreakable, which are separate movies. But this movie ties the two together. It's a comic book movie. And I do like the premise. I like the premise that there's this doctor who doesn't believe in superheroes and wants a scientific explanation for everything.
I liked it too. I just thought it was, I don't know, it was a little dry.
And by the way, for those of you who are comic book nerds who are listening, now Mr. Glass, that's a Marvel character? Because did you see in that newspaper?
Yeah,
they did throw the word Marvel in there.
It's Marvel.
Yeah. I wish they could have tied it into the universe.
Oh, really?
It would have been
like it, but you want it in the universe.
If it would have happened in the same universe as the Thanos snap, and I'm not saying that those guys should have been involved with. They shouldn't have been involved with Thanos in any way. But if they could have tied it into the events of all that stuff, like maybe this doctor, her whole thing is she works on dispelling Thor, or she works on dispelling Captain America and all that. That'd be very interesting. It would also make the movie 4 hours long and not interesting to a lot of people. But Maybe they could tie in Game of Thrones.
Another reference for you?
Maybe the way that hospital got funded was from a loan, and you know where the loan came from?
Oh,
the Iron Bank of Bravos.
Yeah.
And they could say that thing, all men must die. What is it? How do you say it?
Oh.
Juliana Margulies?
Oh, no.
Yeah, I think it's You say Juliana Margulies is what you say. I didn't see Glass, but I saw Split, and I liked his acting. Yeah, I guess.
I actually did like his acting.
I might be in the minority on James McAvoy.
I think he's kind of intense, which is nice.
I didn't like him in that movie.
He plays different roles really well.
Yeah, I didn't like him in that movie, but I found the character to be over the top. But then again,
it's
an over the top movie. You're right.
Yeah, that's another thing you say all the time. You don't like when people are too self-indulgent or too over the top, and it's like, well, you're kind of supposed to be when you're in their spot, right?
Yeah, I suppose you're right. You're supposed to chew the scenery in those kind of movies. Mm-hmm. You know, it's why I like Heath Ledger more than Jack Nicholson as the Joker. I feel like Jack Nicholson just chews up the scenery whenever he's on. Like he's just over the top. But I guess you're kind of supposed to be. I want to see if James McAvoy, what I've seen him in. Yeah, there's Glass. Oh, 2019, that came out last year. That's pretty new. Okay. Oh, Deadpool. That's where I've seen him. Okay, Deadpool 2.
X-Men?
He wasn't in
X-Men?
He wasn't in Deadpool 1. I don't watch a lot of the X-Men movies.
I don't either.
Sorry, guys. This is our Christmas show. I shouldn't apologize. This is fine.
Yeah, there's Wanted.
Shameless. He was Steve in Shameless. That's where I remember him from.
Oh, my God.
That's where I remember James McAvoy from. Was in Shameless.
No.
Yeah. He was Steve.
He's Jimmy Steve? Or am I thinking of the wrong
I think you're thinking of the wrong guy.
Oh, no.
He's Steve. He was in 13 episodes.
How?
There you go. That's where I remember James Sherlock Gnomes. I was going to say if he was in Sherlock Gnomes.
That's fucking him?
Yeah.
No, it's not. Oh, I'm thinking of the wrong one.
That's Jimmy Lishman. Oh, yeah, Jimmy Lishman. He's Steve,
because I was
not
say,
Jimmy.
I was so into Jimmy Steve for a while. I was like, there's no way that's the same guy.
Valar Morghulis. Am I saying that right?
That's correct.
Valar Morghulis.
Good job.
Thank you very much.
House Targaryen gets it.
Thank you. Oh, yeah, of House Targaryen. Of course he would get that reference. He's so good, you didn't even know how good he is.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, you like him so much in Shameless, you don't even know which guy he is. You still don't know which guy he is.
No, I'm still confused.
Oh, man. 32.97 at subs. Okay, I'm not asking, but I am saying be pretty cool to end the day at 3,300. Oh, let's talk about, we're 45 minutes in already. Let's talk about this Twitch streamer. We're all on Twitch, so obviously this is salient. Justa Minx is her name. She's, I think, the first recorded person to be banned from Twitch for saying the S word that rhymes with dimp. And by the way,
happened a little sooner than we thought.
Yeah, it's supposed to take place January 22nd. We'll get to all the ins and outs of this story. But when it comes to, at first he was Jimmy, then they found out his name was Steve. Okay, so it is the guy.
That's the person I'm thinking of, but when you look that guy up, that's not his name. His name isn't
Jimmy Vashulin or whatever.
And
they find out later his name was Steve.
I've been following him for a while because I really liked him.
Yeah, well then you like James McAvoy.
Wow.
Congratulations.
Okay.
So Jimmy Steve would be a good way to name him. Okay, so you're not wrong.
They called him Jimmy Steve after a little bit when they found out his real name.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So this Justa Minx, and this is a great point. You know how I just said the S word that rhymes with dimp? Mm-hmm. This is why banning those words, and by the way, you can only get banned by using them in a derogatory way. I can say the words now. I can say, okay, so they banned the words virgin, incel, and simp. She got banned for saying the third one.
Yeah.
But people are just going to find, like Corey said, people are going to just find different ways to say that word. So I don't really understand. I think what Twitch should focus on is more the behavior that they're trying to get rid of rather than the words they're using.
Yeah. You're preaching to the choir, though. Like, everybody will agree with you, but at the end of the day, it's at their discretion to decide how you said this word.
I understand Twitch wants to make it safe for female gamers because female gamers are kind of not looked at as seriously as male gamers. By a lot of people. So they want to make it safer for them and encourage them. It's a business move. Making it safe for women to game is going to be a profitable move for Twitch.
Yeah.
So they want to ban these terms. But what if you find a way around these terms, but you're still being a dick to these women streamers? I don't really understand the banning words part of it.
Right. You can still be mean without using these words.
Or exactly. So I don't know. I don't know if that's going to be the smartest move. Johnny K says maybe she may have been the first, but they have banned like 5 people. Okay, great. Merry Christmas, Freaky Deaky. Chuck Spadina subscribing with Prime. Balls Deep gifting a tier 1 sub to Freaky Deaky. That's very, very sweet of you. Oh, $32.99. We're right there. So let's delve a little bit into this. A couple days ago, popular streaming platform Twitch announced new additions to their terms of service policies that sparked controversy throughout the internet. Now, let me say, as a streamer myself, doing this professionally now, this stuff, maybe it's because of what we went through with the cancel culture stuff.
Yeah.
I don't mind it. I know Corey gets really nervous, and that's his job. I like that he does that. It doesn't bother me because I've been forced to kind of take inventory of what we do on this show.
Yep.
And our whole thing is funny. It's not shocking. It's not using shock words. I mean, we like to do it to be silly sometimes.
Right.
But if you take that weapon out of our arsenal, it's not one of the weapons we use a lot.
If you're truly a funny person, you don't need those words. It's just like if people think saying the F word spices up what you're doing. It really doesn't.
Like, I believe all comics should be able to, and I've done stand-up for, 8 years now. I believe all comics, and I'm not a clean comic, but I believe all comics should be talented and funny enough to do a clean set. Yep. If someone pays you money to do an hour clean and you're a headliner, you should be able to do an hour clean. You're observational. You're very funny. Do that. Don't put so much pressure on yourself. So when it comes to banning these words and then, oh, Aaron, are you worried that Twitch is doing this and Twitch is doing that? No, because we'll adjust.
Right. It was just like the whole thing with Savage Thoughts. Like, that was extremely frustrating when that happened. But like we've talked about with each other, that really forced us to kind of clean up whatever was on our channel, too. It
was a helpful 3-day suspension.
It ended up being very helpful. Yes.
100 bits from Lick the Stick. So anyway, now this Justaminx. I almost said Instaminx. I've been watching too much The Founder with the Instamix. Jesus Christ. These newly introduced terms included a prohibition of words like in a derogatory manner. So could I have said them just now? Yes. Here's the other thing we've learned. Could I have said them just now and been fine? 99.9% sure. But why? Why risk it? Why roll the dice? What's the point?
Because as I said to you yesterday, I'm like, if somebody doesn't like you, they're watching you and they hear you say that word, even if you're not saying it in a derogatory fashion, if they report you for saying that word, you're up to the mercy of Twitch to decide how you said that. Doesn't matter how you meant it, it's how they're going to take it.
And what do we gain from using it?
Nothing.
And what could
Absolutely
you lose
nothing.
from using
Everything.
it? You got to weigh that. You got to weigh it. Helpful suspension. Does that mean Savage Thoughts is going to be streaming on the Steel Toe? No. I love those. By the way, I love those guys. I share them on Facebook whenever they're on. But we can't. This is a business now. We can't risk those guys being on.
This is your only avenue.
And plus, now they can get their channel monetized.
Yes.
And keep it
they're
all.
working towards that.
Yeah.
And by all means, you guys should go watch them.
Yeah, absolutely go watch them. The new policies were supposed to go live a month later from January 22nd. Now, this is where I feel this is unfair.
Yeah.
Popular Twitch streamer Justaminx has received a ban from the platform recently for using the word, the S one, during her live stream. The news was shared throughout Twitter bot streamer bans on December 18th. Justaminx resorted to Twitter and said, "My email said I was banned for hateful slurs or symbol. I don't understand it, but see you in 7 days."
So that's not a ban. That's a suspension.
Wait, see you in 7 days is a suspension, not a ban. I want to clarify. I did say V, I, and S yesterday, but I thought the new terms of service wasn't in place till January. See, you know what?
Right.
I hate to go criticize anyone who's been doing the streaming longer than I have, but I've been broadcasting long enough, and I can tell Justaminx this. Never assume you're safe with that stuff.
You shouldn't.
Never. If someone says they take effect January 22nd, assume they go into effect now. Start practicing.
They're starting on you guys because they're starting to tell people like, hey, we mean business with this.
Right.
It's unfair as all hell because of the date, but I mean, they're trying to set an example here.
I don't like that it happened to you, but also, like I've said many times before, the audience we have is very generous.
Yes.
They support this show. They believe in this show. They believe there's nothing like it, so they support it financially, and we thank you guys. That's why we're working on Christmas, because you guys are so great. And it is Twitch's house that allows these people to give to us and allows us to do the show and make money.
Yep.
So I'm going to, again, when I'm in their house, I'm going to take off my shoes if they ask me to take off my shoes.
Exactly. Like I said, we're at their mercy.
Because we're funny enough and it's a good enough show and we're engaging enough and we're entertaining and charismatic enough to entertain our audience no matter what words you take away from us. We'll always be able to entertain people because, as gay as this sounds, we'll always have each other, you know? Not just you and I, babe. We get coupley. But the audience as well. We'll always have each other to play off of. So don't worry. Don't worry about it. Look, I understand it sucks that she was banned. Now, if she's saying 7 days, then that's not a ban. You got to watch your words carefully.
They're trying to warn you.
Were you suspended or were you banned? Because we were suspended for 3 days.
Right.
She says, see you in 7 days. That might just be a suspension.
That's for sure a suspension. To me, being banned from something means you're not coming back. Like, if you ban somebody off your chat, they can't come back unless you unban them.
The possibility of her ban being reversed can't be eliminated either. Yeah, she can appeal it. See, like, I could have appealed our suspension, but
but we knew what
the
happened.
rules were broken.
Yeah.
And number two, and we did I wrote to the person, said I apologize.
Yeah.
You know, even though it wasn't our show, I let that show on our channel. I apologize, my bad. And she wrote back to me and said, you can appeal this. And I went, it's 3 days. It's going to take you 4 to go through it. So what are you going to do? Who was on your show that grew up in Watkins? Oh, Oz. Oz will be back in the new year. Very excited.
I didn't know he's from Watkins.
Eden Valley, but
That's
Watkins,
super close
Eden
to
Valley.
me.
Micah says many people on Twitch or social media in general use the word ban to mean suspension. It's dumb and inaccurate, but that's what they mean. 3-day ban, 7-day ban, perma ban, terms people use.
So just making it sound worse than it was.
You know what? She lost it for a week. She'll be fine. It's Christmas. Spend time with your family.
Right.
Enjoy your money. She probably makes a lot on Twitch. I mean, I'm thinking I can't look up her channel right now if she's suspended for 7 days. Yeah, she'll be done till middle of next week. Oh, she's got 620,000 followers on Twitter.
She'll be fine.
She's going to be just fine. I mean, you know what? Twitch is probably going to do this to bigger channels to get the word out. Like, look, don't mess around.
She was last live yesterday on Twitch. She's fine.
So they reversed it.
Yeah.
Okay. So Justin Minks is fine. Yeah, guys, you got to.
Last live yesterday.
A lot of people like to play victim when they get suspended or banned from something.
That's what.
It's kind of like kids in school. They'll get a call home, and the parent will go, well, what happened? They're like, oh, the teacher doesn't like me. And that's why they did it.
Typically, you did something that they don't like you for.
You did something. You screwed up. And just admit it and move on, learn something from it. We've done it. I mean, we've done it on this show plenty of times, believe me. It helps you. It helps you get better overall. By the way, the problem with the kids in school thing and them saying the teacher doesn't like me, blah, 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 and then the teacher tells you, the problem we're having now is there's a growing number of parents, a higher percentage, that they'll take the kid's side.
Yes, they'll side with the kid, and then nothing ever gets addressed.
If you never take your kid's side in a dispute between your kid and an adult, like generally speaking, for things like getting in trouble, if you take your kid's side 0% of the time, you'll be right 99% of the time. Yeah. If you believe the adult over your kid, you'll be right almost every time. But if you take your kid's side over the adult every time, you're going to be wrong almost every time, and you're going to look like an asshole. I mean, kids can be dicks. Kids can, we love the kids more than we love ourselves, for God's sake. But if somebody came to me and said, Aaron, your boy was being an asshole, I'm going to go, you know what? That sounds like my boy.
Right.
You know, he was probably being an asshole. If someone came to me and said, Charlotte was bullying kids and being mean, I go, okay, wait a minute. She's harmless. But if somebody said, even the 2-year-old, even if someone said she was being mean, I'd say, you know what?
Her and Lou are on the same level.
Probably yanking hair, probably pinching.
Biting a little bit.
Yeah. I think she's over the bite. I don't think she bites.
Oh, no. She bit Louie the other day when you were downstairs.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
See, look at how much respect and fear I command as a disciplinarian. Look at the shit they don't pull when I'm around versus the shit they pull.
She didn't do it after I said something to her.
That's right, because April's scary, too.
Terrifying.
April's a terrifying human being. You ever seen a Hitler speech? You've seen April angry. She's Reichen, Steigen, Freichen, Klugen, Kragen, Kriegen, Kragen. Is that your child? I'm a rip out his motherfucking eyeball. Flamingo bitch, yes.
I listened to that this
morning.
You
were watching Mark Ribbolette before the show.
I was listening to him and the Chippa podcast.
The Chip Chipperson podcast.
Yes.
We're going to listen to Red Bar or Chip on the way to the casino?
Red Bar.
Yes. We're gonna pick up
No
from where I
questions.
left. Pick up from where I left off.
Yes, sir.
She's making fun of Bobby Lee
I
and
like-
Jeremiah Watkins. I love when he makes fun of Jeremiah Watkins.
I like Mike David so much. I will re-listen to episodes just for you because I'm
Thank
through
you.
all of them.
And plus, you're kind of like me. When you're listening, you'll listen for like 10 minutes and kind of zone out for 15.
Right. We'll be talking about something.
Let's go to Jackson Gas. Somebody get XX Camps and Jackson Gas. Let's get them both a sub. That'd be cool. This community is pretty good. 1,000 bits from Of House Targaryen. Merry Christmas, guys. Thank you, Of House Targaryen. I already forgot that term. I would have used it. Margulis, whatever it was.
Valar Morghulis.
Valar Margulis. It's all men must die, right?
All men must die.
All men must die. That's kind of final. Italian nerd. Oh, this is so sad. We have a vaccine for COVID. I want to see us start to it sounds weird, but I want to see us start to tear down some of the temporary COVID rule
Wouldn't
infrastructure.
that be nice? Feel a little more human.
Kind of wean us off of it as the vaccine gets rolled out. Thank you to Moonlight Bliss. They got Jackson Gas a sub.
How weird to go take the kids to see Santa and there's a big plexiglass thing between them, and
That's
the
what we
kids
did.
have to look at us and be like, "Can he hear me if we talk?"
Yeah, like Santa's like Santa's
uncomfortable.
in prison and you're visiting him.
Right.
So you put your hands on the glass so you can touch. I'm sorry, you're in here. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to rat, Santa. But by the way, Jackson Gas, you getting that sub, you might not think it means anything, but now you can go back and watch our episode. You don't have to catch us live. You can watch it whenever you want. Might help this Christmas weekend. Oh, yeah, we got to talk about Fauci. Dude, we got a lot of stuff to talk about today. So this Italian nursing home, I just want to talk about this for a second.
Okay.
They set up a thing. So people are upset that they can't see their old relatives, haven't been able to for like a year if they're in nursing homes. So they're setting up hug rooms in Italy where residents can hug their relatives through holes in plexiglass.
Oh.
So you do these plexiglass holes and you do this weird kind of hug thing with them. It's really, really whack. I mean, why not just get these old people vaccinated so they can see their
Right.
loved ones?
I
Now I get why we want to vaccinate old people first.
vaccinate them first. Yes.
I get it now. I mean, it does seem like kind of a waste. And like, if you take your heart out of it and you go just purely science-based and you go purely like eugenics, like the genes and who's more fit and this and that, it doesn't make a lot of sense to vaccinate an old person.
On the other hand,
But when you put your heart into it,
yeah,
they
all these
should be
old
first.
people are lonely and stuff. But on the other hand, so especially with all the side effects that are happening sometimes with these vaccines, why not test it out on the people that might not live that much longer anyways?
oh, so wow, you really are. You're not.
I'm-
Wow, you've married
I'm
those
just
two
saying.
worlds. You're vaccinating the old people first while also still being
It's
evil.
kind of.
Wow.
Well, what I'm trying to say, it's a sacrificial thing, I guess, in a way. But like, if they're so old and they might not make it that much longer regardless, why would you want a young person who's going to live a long time for their face to be all screwed up and not working? I mean,
Do me a favor.
I love old people.
Do me a favor. It's never good when you have to say that.
I
first
love
of
old
all.
people. I
Do me
miss my grandma.
Listen to me. Do me a favor. Don't ever go into public relations. No, it's the most horseshit explanation of an evil thing I've ever
It's a double-edged
heard.
sword, but it's a good thing.
We should vaccinate
It's a
old
good
people
thing.
first. Oh, wow, April's great. Why should we do that? Because fuck them. They're going to die if it's something wrong with it,
Well,
and we'll
if
be
something
warned.
bad happens, I mean, they
Send that
lived a
canary into
long
the coal
life.
mine. If it comes back, we'll go in. If it doesn't, let's pack up for the day and knock off
But
early.
if it ends up being a great thing, suddenly they can hug their families again.
Oh, great.
They'll be fine.
You can hug your families if this works. What if it doesn't? You die. You can
They
hug
might not die. They're just going to have some issues.
Yeah, you can hug your family if this works. Oh, you mean the
What if-
motherfuckers who
I'm
put
just
me in here?
saying-
Can't wait to see them again so I
I'm
can
just
crack
saying
them with my
half of them,
cane.
half of their faces might not work anyways, so what's the point?
My God, I'm out of the nursing home. By God, King, I'm out of the nursing home, but I got sleep paralysis on the left side of my mouth. By God.
I think it's a good thing, either way.
Thank you to Moonlight Bliss for gifting a sub to XX Camps. You're a sweet, sweet boy or girl. I'm not assuming gender. Look at that. Look at me being all safe for the Twitch terms of services. Aaron hates vets and April doesn't
I
like
love
old people.
people.
April is using a backhoe this morning. Yeah.
I'm really digging in.
You really are being a...
I love old people. I miss my grandmas. However, I do. Old people don't
Where'd
make
they
it through
go?
COVID regardless. They're dead. It's terrible. Christmas is always hard without them.
On the WB. Sorry. Well, Aaron, I think you're off the hook for hating the vets after this one. She takes the cake. April loves old people. She's dating one. Oh, that's very nice, Mr. Approachable. Who is it that made us apple pie and we need to work out?
Raz of Chaz.
Raz of Chaz. Thank you, buddy. He's messaging my girlfriend again.
No.
I'm just
Do
kidding.
you know why he messaged me? Because you wouldn't get back to him.
Yeah, I'm not good at that. I don't have it on my phone. I don't have that stuff on my phone, so I can only, when I'm down here, I can look at messages.
I think Raz of Chaz and his lady friend are both cool with me. I love them. And they can give me apple pie anytime they want.
Yeah, I'll take some apple pie from you. I'll take a quart.
I'll give you some apple pie.
I'll take you right downtown. And I'll put you in the straps. Oh, you'll be.
Do you know that last time
you'll be in the stirrups and you'll get the hurt locker.
Last comedy show we had, these two actually came up to me and had to deeply apologize because you scared them so
good.
bad
Keep them on their toes.
They're like, we didn't mean anything, blah, blah, blah. I don't want to overstep. I love those two. Stop scaring my friends.
Yeah, you know what? I say keep people on their toes and they'll always be honest. LOL. Thanks, April. They are quart size. So we're getting a quart of apple pie.
No, they didn't say you were, but I am.
They wouldn't know you if not for me. I get
Actually,
my apple
they would.
pie.
They're from the
Ask
town
me
next to
nicely.
me.
You can borrow some of my
I
apple
actually
pie.
knew them from Adrian's shows prior to you.
Oh, great. When you got yanked off the air, did you get a phone call? Aaron's Herb says, I'll take a case of Steel Toe brand apple pie. Yeah, we're going to slap labels on it and sell it. How's that, Raz?
We did have some.
Oh, wait, no, you can't do that.
We did have some Steel Toe brand beer this weekend.
Yeah.
Your parents got us some. It's very good.
Steel Toe Brewing. Of House Targaryen says someone's been reading Mein Kampf. Well, I mean, you check your stocking at Christmas, and what are you going to do? Set it down?
You got some interesting books this
April got me 2 books for my birthday. She got me, well, this was the kids, too. This was, you guys worked on this together. They got me relaxation stuff. I think robes, slippers.
You got a robe and some comfy clothes, sweatpants, comfy socks, books, a Yeti.
And then they got me, so they got me 2 books. One of them was, this is actually really cool. I can't wait to read this one. Historical battles throughout history. Battles that changed the world.
Battles that changed
So
history.
they got like the Horns of Hattin. They've got the Siege of Jerusalem, the Battle of Hastings, like all this cool shit. And then she got me the 100 worst dictators and tyrants in world history.
The book's called Tyrants, and it's the top 100 most evil despots and dictators, it said.
Yeah.
You just find this stuff interesting. But
I do.
Hitler was on the cover, and he opens and he's like, oh, come on. I don't need anything Hitler related.
It's the deal with putting the Hitler stuff all over the goddamn place.
You got a lot for your birthday. That's only stuff the kids and I did together.
I had a wonderful birthday.
Shitload of stuff.
It was all great. It was all very exciting. All right, let's jump into another story because I got a couple things that I want to end up getting to today. We only got 50 minutes left in our Christmas live stream.
Holy crap.
Pensacola police have provided the following statement in regards to the oh wait, hold on a minute. I'm going to do the Blaze version of this story because the actual news story is not giving me exactly what I want. Where's my carjacking story? Ruh-roh. Sorry, guys. I deleted one a little too quickly. Uh-oh. Somebody fucked up. Carjackers roll up. Yeah, here we go. Okay, I found the story. I apologize, guys. I'm a terrible broadcaster. You should all be deeply ashamed of me and my behavior. I'm sorry. Some folks still aren't getting the picture. With more and more Americans deciding to exercise their Second Amendment rights and arm themselves. Yeah, you can't. It's hard to find guns.
Yeah.
And ammo in a lot of places.
It is.
Go to MidlandArmory.com. That's MidlandArmory.com. You'll find all kinds of cool stuff there. Oh, by the way, even though Christmas is over, guys, get your MyPillow stuff. We're going to be giving away MyPillow as prizes for the bit race the next 5 weeks. First place is going to get a brand new MyPillow sheet set with the fitted sheet, the sheet, the pillowcases, everything. Second place is going to get a premium MyPillow, and third place will get a $50 gift card. Right now, it's balls deep at $24,614, Cable Dog at $7,400, and Toe Boys at $5,000. So thank you, guys. Also, 5,000 bits in a week gets you a visit to the show. 25,000 gets you unlimited visits, and you get to be a co-host for a day. MidlandArmory.com and then MyPillow.com, promo code SteelToe. With more and more Americans deciding to exercise their rights and arm themselves, the likelihood that crooks might target somebody who's packing is going up, and the odds of criminals getting collared or sung a lullaby increases too. Oh, there you go. Investigators said an 80-year-old Pensacola, Florida man walked outside to lock his cars just after 11 p.m. Tuesday. That's a late bedtime for an 80-year-old.
Yeah, it really is.
It's a spry dude. when two males approached him and demanded his car. Okay, so they're out casing the area. They see an 80-year-old. They think, easy win, right? You get yourself a free car. One of the suspects pulled a gun on the elderly victim. Now, I feel like even in a normal situation, you shouldn't have to pull a gun on an 80-year-old. You can pop him in the face and take his car. I mean, wait a minute. Hold on.
Oh,
that's
so
not
you
my
don't like
take.
old people.
That's not my take on the story that they
Aaron
should have just punched him in the face. I'm
Okay.
saying that you could, with an 80-year-old, take him down to Chinatown.
How dare you?
It turns out that their target came prepared. Police said the homeowner grabbed his concealed weapon, for which he has a permit, and opened fire. Both suspects ran off, adding that one of the victims turned up at a house with a gunshot wound. The second suspect got away.
Honestly, I applaud the guy. If somebody pulled a gun on me and I had my CNC and I had it on me, they'd be in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, the wounded...
I mean, good for this guy.
Check this out. The wounded suspect is 15 years old. I don't feel bad for him.
No, not at all.
If you're 15 and minding your own business and some crazy 80-year-old coot shoots you, I feel terrible.
That's different.
It's awful.
I think
But if you're going to carjack an old man and you get shot for your trouble, there's a lesson there in that bullet.
If you make the decision, be prepared to deal with the consequence. That's always been my mentality.
Do you... And you probably don't know the law. I don't know the law. That's why I don't have a carry permit. Can you carry on your property without a permit, or even just walking outside, do you have to have a permit?
I'm not positive, but I think that if it's your property, you can do whatever the hell you want.
I bet you in the chat here we'll know in just a little bit. The homeowner was not injured, and it appears the suspects never fired their guns. Police in a statement told the news they don't anticipate filing any charges against the victim, as it is a stand your ground type case, and they're still looking for the second
Stand your ground. That's
suspect.
a big deal. I like this guy's comment, fuck around and find out. Yeah, that's kind of my thing too. If you're going to step on my property and pull a gun on myself or anyone in my family, you're going to get what's coming to you pretty quickly. That's I'm a guard dog that way.
Okay, you can carry on your own property, people are saying. Rodeo Jockey says Minnesota laws say you have to retreat. Minnesota laws say that you can't seek out the confrontation. But if you're in your home and you have reasonable belief of felonious bodily harm, you can take action to stop.
If you're in your driveway locking your car and someone pulls a gun on you, you're fucked. I'm sorry.
I think in Minnesota, though, you do have to try and get inside the house. But if you can't...
That's a shitty rule, in my opinion.
Oh, in Minnesota?
Very
No.
shitty.
In Minnesota, if someone pulls a gun on you, all bets are off.
Yeah.
Once somebody, even legally in Minnesota, let's say there wasn't a law protecting you from that, you go to trial on that. Your lawyer, you tell your lawyer, I'm going to trial. And let's see a jury convict me that I was an 80-year-old man who had guns pulled on me.
For sure.
Yeah. Can protect your own property. Yeah, the rules are different state to state. But I think if someone pulls a gun on you pretty much anywhere,
nothing will ever,
all bets are off.
Nothing will ever piss me off more than if somebody were to try to harm myself or my family. Nothing.
What if the Vikings lose today?
I couldn't give a shit less.
That might be a little worse.
No.
Let's see here. Oh my God, we're 22 unique viewers away from our 100,000th different person watching this channel.
God.
That is so exciting, guys. It's either going to be today or Sunday. 5,571 followers, only 29 away from 5,600.
That's crazy.
And subscribers, we crossed over 3,302.
Thank you, lovely people.
You guys are amazing. Hey, this goddamn man, I'm like middle grounder guy on Fauci. You know, a lot of people, half the people think he's this saint on earth sent to save us all from this 99.9% survivable disease.
False.
And then the other half think that he's this tyrant little midget dictator doctor.
I'm not going to say that, but I'm on Corey's side with this, the whole lying back and forth thing about masks and stuff. And if that's how you're going to start with this whole thing, like that's how he started with it,
right.
I'm not going to believe you.
I'm very middle ground on Fauci. Here's my take on Fauci. I'm rooting for him. I want him to say and do the right things.
I do too.
But when he doesn't, I get really upset with him.
As he should.
As you said earlier, Dr. Fauci, early on in the pandemic, lied to us. He said, don't wear masks. Masks aren't going to help you. I mean, don't even worry about masks. Social distance. Don't go anywhere. Order out. Things like that. Don't worry about masks. Then, when they started making a lot of masks, he goes, guys, not only do you say you should wear masks, he goes, these are going to save lives. These are the thing that's going to stop this thing dead in its tracks. You got to wear these masks. So now you don't know what to believe. And I think a lot of people who are even more on the liberal side of this whole thing have said, they give up on that one. They go, yeah, he shouldn't have done that. Now, in
That's where I'm at.
his defense is, he said, I had to protect the N95 masks for the hospital workers.
But you're spreading it around in the rest of us.
Absolutely fair. But if you look at what happened with toilet paper, I can see where he's coming from. I mean, we're psychos who stole all the toilet paper.
But as for the majority of people out there, as soon as you lie, I don't care who you are, but he's in like a very, very public, he's a public figure, right?
Yeah.
He's supposed to be protecting all of us.
Yeah.
I don't care who you are. If you're to lie to me or any other person out there, typically you're going to lose respect and credibility very quickly.
Yep.
You probably shouldn't do that.
Right.
You could have just came out and be honest, like, hey, we really need these masks for frontline workers right now. Can we not have a run on them? Like, by all means, maybe protect yourselves, like fashion something out of your own home or something. I don't care. Make a mask. Wear underwear in your fucking face. I don't care. But he could have been honest about it.
I agree. I wonder if you could ask him privately, not on TV, because people lie when they're on TV because they got to protect their rep. But if you could ask him privately, hey, if you could go back and do it over, would you change your answer on the mask thing early on? I hope he would say yes.
I really do too. I think he would have a lot more credibility and people willing to listen to him if he hadn't lied to everyone from the get-go.
Don't worry about that hypothetical because he fucking lied again.
Oh, great.
He admitted to fucking
Yay.
lying again. I mean, this guy, I don't think he's evil. Evil is a very special classification for very special people.
Yeah, evil's a hard word.
He's not evil, but he's kind of an asshole.
Yeah.
Like he's kind of a self-righteous. He thinks he's above people. He's kind of very condescending. He's a very condescending guy.
Condescending's a good word.
This Fauci. And in some ways, I get it. He does know a lot more about medicine than all of us combined. I understand. But he's very, like, he assumes the worst of us, and then he behaves based on that information. He's now saying, he's admitting that he did not level with the American people about how many would need to be vaccinated in order to achieve herd immunity because he didn't think the public was ready to hear his true thoughts, which he feared might discourage people from getting vaccinated. I mean, that's a fucked up way of thinking. He's sitting there going, oh, so basically the word we like to use, he was projecting.
Yeah.
He thought something might happen if he did a thing, so he lied and didn't say a thing because he thought we would think that he would think that this and that. Sometimes, man, when it comes to public health especially, you got to throw the truth out there and hope for the best out of people.
That is all you should be doing because when it comes to health, it should be based on actual science. You know, you're not supposed to be just saying things that, people either want to hear, the things that you want to get like certain reactions from. Like, that's not okay.
The Times article cataloged Dr. Fauci's changing position on how many Americans would need to be vaccinated. He initially said 60 to 70%. About a month ago, Fauci's tune changed, and he suggested that the figure was 70 to 75%. Last week, he upped that figure to 75 to 80+%. Now, according to the Times in the telephone interview, Dr. Fauci acknowledged that he had slowly but deliberately been moving the goalposts. He is doing so, he said, partly based on new science, but partly on his gut feeling that the country is finally ready to hear what he really thinks. So you're going to withhold information until you think we're ready to hear it. This is where I agree with Corey. That's not how science works.
No.
That's not how medicine works. Oh, I'm not ready to roll out this AIDS medication because I don't know if people with AIDS are ready to hear about it yet. No, if you got something that can help, out with it. Out with it, doctor.
This is like if we have Ebola running around the country and you're not going to tell people how severe it is because you don't want to scare people. No, we need to hear that. Probably should just be telling us what we need to do to protect ourselves, or that facts is always important when it comes to health. Don't sugarcoat things.
He's now saying it's close to 90% that need to be vaccinated to achieve herd immunity. And he said Fauci's advice to the American people on one of the most critical aspects of the pandemic has not consisted entirely of his honest opinion formulated by the best science, but rather on what he thinks the country is ready to hear. Now, Aaron's Herp says that's how government works. Yes, Aaron's Herps, I agree with you. That's how government works. But this isn't supposed to be government. This is supposed to be a doctor. Remember at the beginning of this thing, trust the doctors, trust the professionals.
Trust the science.
How can I trust anyone in any portion of my life who, when it comes to the biggest shit out there, is lying to me?
They're inconsistent with everything.
Masks and how many of us need to be vaccinated, he lies. You know, there's like 40% of this country that says I'm not getting vaccinated. Maybe if you would have come out and said, hey, if 90+% of people get vaccinated, back to normal. We're good. Maybe some of those 40% would have been like, shit, you know what? Let's give it a shot. But maybe when you go 60 to 70%, those 40% go, oh, well, fuck it. I can not get the vaccine. Everyone else can get it and we'll be fine. Oh, man, he's got to not do that. The masks, the vaccine, two of the biggest parts of this pandemic, the masks and the vaccines. He could have told us, you need masks. And maybe restaurants and bars wouldn't have been closed as long.
I don't understand
this motherfucker
as a country where we got to a point where it's such a serious health concern apparently that we have to shut down everything. So why aren't you at least being honest with everybody? That I don't get that. Honesty is huge for me. To me, science and government is the same thing as religion and government. Yeah, they shouldn't be.
When you mix the two, you dilute the better one. I think religion, I'm not a religious guy, but I think religion is better than government. But when you put religion in with government, it makes religion worse and more evil. When you take science, which I think is better than government, but you marry it with government, you make science worse and more evil. It's almost universal.
An agenda. That just says agendas to me, and it ends up being you're amending all the things you have to say just because you want the right reaction from everyone.
That really sucks, man. Trucker, Merry Christmas, by the way, everyone. Trucker AA gave us 1,000 bits. Hey, you know what happened with Trucker AA?
He sold his steers.
He sold some steers.
Home run, Jefferson. Go to break.
Nice to see you here, bud.
Rusty Grammar, I don't trust anyone whose BS gets forcefully spoon-fed down the nation's throat. It's not even that. It's just the fact that the guy has all this information. He is a smart guy. He knows all this stuff. But then he goes, I don't think you guys are ready to hear it. It's like, motherfucker, you could be helping people.
Right. Who cares? Okay, who cares what the reaction is from us to him? Like, if he was a true doctor, shouldn't he be just stating the facts, I guess, that are going to get this thing over with? Like, get us through it and stuff. I don't understand it's like drawing it out. Yeah. It's like the whole thing's just been drawn out. Like, if you had something to tell us that's going to just like Corey says with the lockdowns and stuff, if we need to lock down truly and just to get over this thing, why aren't we all locking the fuck down for a certain amount of time instead of half-ass? Everybody's still around everyone. I don't know.
Oh, Bubba's doing a Christmas show. That's why a lot of the Bubba army's being quiet. They all went over to Bubba's Christmas show.
I saw that.
That's on right now. Somebody tell Bubba, one of you Bubba army, tell Bubba to call in. We want to wish him a Merry Christmas. 100 bits from Ilda34, or just go in there and say, Steel Toe Joe says Merry Christmas, Bubba. Yeah, my buddy had cancer, but his doctor didn't think he could handle it, so he never told him. It's not, no, he's joking. It's not that much different. It's kind of the same concept.
It's completely the same thing. No, or
this patient suffers from anxiety. If I tell them they have cancer, yeah, maybe I'll wait.
Or it's even like this. Like, say you're the person who has cancer, but you're a dad who has cancer, and you decide not to tell your wife and kids because you're worried about how they'll handle it and stuff. So you're just not going to tell them.
That makes you an asshole.
Sugar-coated. That makes you an asshole because now suddenly you're going to die, and they have no idea, and they wanted to like do things with you and stuff, and you deprived them of that.
Yeah, but they couldn't.
Thank you. They couldn't handle it, though.
They weren't going to be able to.
They weren't ready.
All right. See, I told you guys, we do a serious thing. We got to do a funny thing. This is hilarious to me. A judge in Virginia ruled that a courtroom lined with portraits of white judges could impede a black defendant's right to a fair trial and has ordered that the images be removed from his next court appearance.
Oh, my God.
So, if I'm a white guy and I'm tried in a place where you have pictures of black judges, does that mean I'm not going to get that? Does that mean that the mere act? Okay, look, I'm not saying that doesn't look bad. I'll go with that. But are you telling me that the mere act of removing those pictures from the wall is going to add or subtract from the racism of the judge or the jury that's handling my case?
Isn't that almost worse? Because you're again, instead of being colorblind or whatever, you're acknowledging that, oh, there's a bunch of white people, better take them down. Isn't that worse?
It's so fucking stupid. You know, I think, and here's my hope. I'm hoping the judge is just like, oh, this is the stupidest fucking thing I've ever heard. You know what? Just fucking take him down. You know, I'm hoping that most of these people are like fed up parents. You know, it's not that they don't want the kids to have toys. It's that if this toy is going to be such a big fucking distraction, I'm taking the toy away.
Right.
I'm hoping that the defense attorney went, well, you see, my client's black and there's white judges on the walls and that could lead to an unfair trial. And the judge is like, fucking A. You know what?
The race and gender cards.
You know, the judge just go, instead of the judge being like, yes, that's correct, you know,
this is going to really make for a racially inequitable situation for this defendant.
Instead of being that guy, I hope he's just going, fuck it, take him down then. I don't give a shit. Like, that kind of thing bothers me less.
Yeah.
Than actually thinking that shit matters. Here's what matters. Were the drugs yours or not? That's what matters. 10 gifted tier 1 subs from Balls Deep. Thank you, buddy. That's a very nice Christmas gift to the people of this channel and to us. 3,311 subs, 5,572 followers, 99,978 unique viewers. Just about to turn over to 100,000. Aaron's Herp says, instead of taking them down, just black them out. Well, then there's going to be a motion that the pictures are in blackface, and then it's racist. So you're not going to win.
You can't win with gender or race. You can't win.
Fairfax County Circuit Court Judge David Bernhardt wrote in an opinion this week that having people of color stand trial in courtrooms where the images on display are overwhelmingly of white judges could signal that the justice system is biased against them. Or does it tell us a story of back in the day when, the system was definitely worse for black people and it was harder for them to become judges for white people? But does it have any impact on your case? No.
Nothing.
None.
Or what if those pictures just told the story of that specific courthouse, too? Like, what if they really were just all white judges? Like, what are you supposed to do? There was no black judges.
Or how about who gives a fuck about who gives a fuck about the pictures? Let's have the trial.
That's my whole point with race is, like, the more you point out, like, oh, there's only white pictures in here and stuff, like, you're kind of just pointing out race. Like, when the shoe's on the other foot, it never matters.
It's
right?
like when adults project their shit onto kids.
Oh.
That kid would have never worried about that had you not thrown it in their face.
Never would have thought about it.
Like, our kids play with a girl who has parents of 2 different races.
Right.
They don't give a fuck.
And as they shouldn't.
They don't care. And nor will they ever if nobody makes it a thing.
Right.
You know, that's just their friend. That's not about inequities. That's not about social this or social that. We kind of give our kids, we pass that along in the mind. Mm-hmm. We pass that shit along. Morgan Freeman once said, and this is people oversimplify his take, but I know what he meant when he said, what do we do about racism? How do we end racism? He goes, stop talking about it. He didn't mean like when you see racism, don't call it out. What he meant was, stop putting it in people's brains. We pass this along generationally. Stop talking about race. Stop talking about the things that make us different and talk to your kids about what makes us the same. Try that. It seems like hard work because it's going to take 30, 40 years and everyone else thinks they can take down portraits and solve it tomorrow. Racism has been around since the dawn of time. If you really want to get rid of it, it's going to take talking about something else for 100 years to get rid of it. People hating people for unreasonable issues ain't going away. We can try our best to not be that way, but people are human. They're going to fuck up. You just got to make sure they're not fucking up on purpose and trying to hurt people. I mean, taking the pictures down is stupid. I agree. But let's say all the jurors they picked were white. Okay, I can see that being a problem. You want to make that a thing? You didn't pick any black jurors. You didn't pick...
Aren't those people random?
No, no, they're interviewed. They're...
Okay.
Yeah, the defense and the prosecution has to agree on the jurors. They interview you go in for jury duty. That's why the old joke is just tell them you're racist. They'll let you go. Because you gotta, Bill Maher had an old joke. He goes, our justice system is fucked because your liberty and you going to prison or you getting out is in the hands of 11 people who were too dumb to get out of jury duty. Which is really encouraging. 100 bits from Rusty Grammar. Thank you very much. Appreciate that, buddy. So, yeah, removing the pictures.
My answers to stories like this is always that we're reinforcing racism, basically, by even pointing out the people's skin color. That, like you were just saying, why even talk about it?
And you know what else worries me? Is when you and I talk about this stuff, or, anyone talks about this stuff, and you're being fair, and you're just giving your opinion. We're getting to this point in society where one side of our culture believes that if you have this skin tone and you even want to formulate an idea or an opinion, and by the way, we're not formulating an opinion and saying, and this is the way it is. We're sharing our ideas. And if someone else has a different idea, you encourage it. You welcome it. Mm-hmm. Let's talk about it. Just having this skin tone and saying, hey, here's an idea about race. I don't know if it's going to help or not, but here's an idea. We're getting to a point where there's a large group of people who believe just this skin color invalidates your opinion.
Right.
And if you do that to a white person, or you do that to a black person, you do that to an Asian or a Latino, just because someone hasn't directly experienced the thing doesn't mean they can't have an idea. I mean, you could be building a deck and you could be the best carpenter in the world, and some guy might come by and he goes, I don't know much about decks, but wouldn't it look better, or wouldn't it work better if you did that? And the carpenter might go, holy shit, man, I fucking missed that. I'm really experienced about this thing, but I'm so focused in and so close to the project, I wasn't standing back from it and having a different perspective.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you're someone who wants to give your opinion on race or politics or anything else, and you go, and this is the way it is, and I'm right, that Rush Limbaugh shit, and blah, 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 well, then you're an asshole. Yeah, and your opinion means very little because you're not flexible. But if you're out there and you're going, hey, man, I saw you guys were having this march about racial inequality. Maybe we could try this, or maybe we could try that. If your response is, well, you don't have the right opinion, or you don't have the right color, or you don't have the right that, you're an asshole and you're not helping. If you go, hey, I hear you. Thank you for your suggestion. Here's where I think that's not going to work. Here's what we could also try. That would be great. But the internet doesn't allow that, first of all. The internet's not going to let you do that. No. It's too knee-jerk. Thank you very much to Balls Deep. He said, fam's here. Merry Christmas, guys. 1,000 bits. Thank you, Balls Deep. You're a great man, and a prince and a great man, dare I say.
Merry Christmas.
The woke can't see the forest for the trees. It's not even about being woke or being right or being left. It's about being polite. It's not the difference of opinion that bothers me. It's the fact that people aren't allowing people to have the difference of opinion.
No, that's not. No, you need to have a certain opinion or else is how it is.
Yeah, and I think it goes back to sensitivity and being offended. It's hard for me to imagine people not letting people just talk or have an opinion and then just give your counter opinion to that and be respectful. But when people get offended, they get sensitive. When they get sensitive, they get angry. When they get angry, they get unreasonable and they get rude. And I guess it's hard for me to see that because I can't think of what you'd have to do to me or say to me or an opinion that you could have that would offend me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how...
disagree, maybe.
Right. I don't understand how your opinion about something could even be offensive to me. I
hate using the word offensive or offended in any situation anymore just because everybody uses it for anything now. You know? Like I can't say anything's offensive even without just feeling like like the stereotypical entitled millennium.
Yeah.
Or millennium.
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 I'm getting a millennium. I'm getting a Dodge Millennium.
Star Wars things at home last night.
Master Meatball says not just being polite, but they use being offended as a tactic to call you wrong or bad. Yeah. I mean, you're not wrong, but you are bad.
Why was it ever decided, this is probably such a stupid, naive question, I guess. Why was it ever decided that, just the terms of racism and stuff, like why was it ever a thing that white people were like superior and stuff when we got to buy like colored people as slaves? Can you imagine?
Did you just say colored people?
I just mean people.
You know what's funny about that? You meant it. You meant it to be as respectful as you possibly could, and you still pulled color people out of the hat.
I just meant people with different pigments of skin. Why is it white people were always superior? Can you imagine?
They weren't. Oh my God, no. The first civilizations came out of Mesopotamia. They came out of the Middle East. They came out of Africa. Different civilizations have ruled the world at different times. It's just that now we're living in this post-colonial world where from about, I would say not even 14, maybe the 1600s to now, Europeans, and as an expansion of that, North Americans have become the dominant dictating force in the world. So the people who look like them and believe in that kind of culture end up getting the long end of the stick because the world was kind of built for them. But if you go back to 900 AD, it would be Muslims that would benefit because they were spreading out across the world and taking all this, what was previously Roman and Byzantine territory, and they had the technology and the trade routes. Or the Mongolians in the 1200s, or the Mesopotamians in the BC era, or the Egyptians, or the Greeks. Well,
regardless.
You just know that because you live in this time.
Yes. Regardless, what I'm trying to say is, when did it ever get decided that one skin color is better than the other? I don't care what order it was in.
That's just incidental. What it ends up being first is a culture dominates. And then anything that looks like or believes in that benefits from it. It's not, yes, there have been people who have gone, this skin color by itself is better. But have white...
That's ridiculous.
But think about it. I don't think white people have necessarily gone, well, if you're white, you got to pass.
Okay,
I mean, look at the two most lethal... Think of the two most lethal wars in the history of the world. Was the main theater not white people massacring white people?
Yeah.
I mean, the European theaters of World War I and World War II were the biggest meat grinders in the history of all time. And it was all white people killing white people. So...
It is different now, though, in this time, yeah. It's not a cultural thing anymore. It's a skin color thing.
I think it's more a belief thing. I think as long as you... it's very feudal in a way. It's psychologically feudal. If you bend the knee to a certain orthodoxy, if you bend the knee to a certain societal way of thinking, they'll eat you last if you're on their side. They'll go after the other people. It doesn't matter black, white, none of that. This woke stuff, if you're black and you say, I'm more conservative, that's not going to save you.
No.
Being black isn't going to save you from the woke mob. They're going to come after you. Ask Candace Owens, who I'm not a big fan of, but it's not a skin color thing. Because if you're white and you're on their side, you're on the woke side, not the black side, but the woke side.
I was just saying, truly racist people of today look at skin color before anything else. I think that's true. I think
or they obsess about it. It becomes
that is the main thing. Like, we're just kind of a whole bunch of sophisticated animals. Like, I always wondered this too. This is such a childish statement maybe, but can you imagine if like animals, like let's say dogs, different colored dogs just hated each other because of their colors? That doesn't make any sense, does it? So
we don't know if they do or not.
Why do we do it?
I don't know.
It's fucked up.
Yeah, I agree with Freaky Deaky. It's really throughout history been more religion-based than race-based.
Okay, but it's not right now.
Yeah. I think we're seeing the remnants of a Christian domination of the world. And the one thing Christianity allows for more than, say, a very orthodox Islamic view of things like you may have in Pakistan or elsewhere is openness and tolerance. And when you open the door to openness and tolerance, you get different ideas, even ideas from woke atheist leftist groups. So Christianity does kind of breed its own enemies in that way.
Yeah.
Modern Christianity. I mean, 1100s Christianity, you don't get away with that shit. they burn you at the stake if you would have brought a technology around that they didn't recognize, you're dead. But now, I mean, you got a pope now who's like, gay people, yeah, they can get into heaven. You think 200 years ago there was a pope saying gay people can get into heaven?
No.
No. So yeah, I don't know. I'm so in over my head. Unlike this particular topic.
Yeah, the most basic thing I was trying to say is, when did we ever decide that one person was better than the other? I think that's garbage.
Human nature.
Just like what I brought up with the whole dog thing with the different colored dogs. They don't do it. They don't go slaughter each other because they're different colors. Like a white dog doesn't go chew up a black one or vice versa just because of their color. You know they don't. So why do we do it? Skin color shouldn't matter any more than the color of your shirt. That's what I'm trying to say.
You're talking about human beings and...
I understand we're a lot more sophisticated.
But humans do the same things dogs do. I don't necessarily agree with that. Dogs and humans are the only ones who have the mental ability to fight this urge, but we all have that urge to dominate.
Yes, of course.
We all have that urge to win. I think looking at the motivation is putting the cart before the horse. I think what you have to look at first is a human need to dominate. Some people have a need to dominate and win and lead. And then I think that skin color becomes, when you talk about history, becomes the alibi they use. Because it's an easy one. They go, look, they look different than us.
Right.
And if they look different than us, they might not be the same. But it doesn't come from racism first. It comes from the need to dominate first. And the racism or the religion or the Crusades, the Muslims, the Christians, all that stuff comes after. It becomes about power and dominance, and then you go, well, these people are different. They can be our enemy. I think it's that kind of a dynamic. Let's go to Mr. Approachable. He says, April, now that you mentioned it, the color of your shirt, let's just say I can't wait for hours to get back. New boot goofing. I
can't wait for hours to get back?
22 minutes left. I don't know what that meant.
I don't know either.
Doesn't it seem like organized religion is going away? Seems like the Catholic religion is dying.
That thought just ran through my head. You're bringing up religion and stuff, and I really feel like a lot of people don't necessarily talk about it as much anymore. Like, I have a certain religion that I feel when I lived in a small town used to get talked about a lot more, brought up a lot more, and especially around the holidays. And I just was thinking about how that really didn't get talked about this year.
I think religion, specifically Christianity, sowed the seeds of its own destruction a long time ago. I think what you're seeing in Christianity is what you would see in Islam if they would open it up and be more tolerant. Once you're more tolerant, the same thing happened to the Soviet Union. When they allowed people to speak up more and vote, they found out, holy shit, people don't like us for the shit we've done. Mm-hmm. Once Christianity started opening itself up and say, you know what, we fucked up a lot. We're going to let people talk shit about us. We're not going to burn people at the stake. We're not going to do this. Well, the problem is when you do that, the stuff people would have criticized you before when you were doing egregiously awful, evil things in the name of God, people now get to tell you about them, and people get to tell other people about them. So Christianity, I think, is today paying for a lot of its sins from hundreds and thousands of years ago, because now people get to say it. You get to tell truths like, yeah, when the Christians took Jerusalem, they slaughtered tens of thousands of innocent people in the name of God. The Pope Urban II was giving soldiers the right to kill and giving you a pass because you're on crusade, so you'll go straight to heaven for killing infidels. Right. Islam does not let the people in their religion say that right now in the Middle East. You still get punished severely for speaking out against the faith. The minute they open up and they liberalize, and this is probably why they're fighting it so much, you get called out on your bullshit, and even if you start behaving now, they're going to come get you for the stuff you did before. And it's really hard to defend. I mean, let's say someone who's never been a Christian says, I might want to become a Christian. And they start looking into it and they go, I mean, I see what you guys say about God. I see what you guys say about Jesus, but I'm just looking at the history of the church and the shit you guys have done. I mean, can you really tell them they're wrong or argue with them if they say, I don't want to associate myself with this because of all the things that have been done in its name? I mean, it's kind of chickens coming home to roost in a way. When I guess, think of myself as a Christian, I think about more how I want to treat people and how I want to portray myself, I guess, and being kind to others who, are kind to me. Basically, just being a good person. You really do look deep into like the fine print of every religion and stuff, and I more so just kind of see it as trying to be a good person and live a good life. And that's wonderful, and that's what people should do. And I get what I'm saying is when the many times. Okay, most Americans are good people. But when their presidents over and over bomb other countries, manipulate other countries, and those countries come and attack and kill the citizens, just saying I don't like my government or I just try to live my best life as an American isn't going to save you from the blowback from the people who represent you and the decisions they make. It would be great if we all could live our lives that way. But again, like the last straw for me in the Catholic Church, when you see a systematic not only molestation of young, vulnerable boys, but then an active cover-up, how could you ever blame anyone for saying, I don't want to be associated with your church ever again? I've never liked the Pope. The idea of a Pope, by the way, is he's kind of looked at as like an idol in Catholicism, isn't he? I'm not Catholic. I don't know. He's looked at as what? An idol? No, he's just the voice of God. He's God's representation on earth. Yeah, he's God's representation on earth, according to the Catholics. I guess people like that in religion that have all this crazy money and people all look up to this one person, like I see that person as being, as an outsider looking into Catholicism, I see him as people looking at him like an idol and stuff, and he's got all this crazy money and he can do all these terrible things, and people will look past every single one of those terrible things because he's the Pope because and he's supposedly of God. Yeah. He's godly. I don't agree with that. Public Citizen LTD, I agree with them. They say most self-professed people of faith have very little understanding of the tenets of their faith. This goes for Christians too. Okay, but here's where you can't blame them. The people like April, they get anxious and they get nervous when they start looking into it because they see the stuff that was done. Well, you're a Protestant, so maybe not so much Protestants, but
Protestant.
Well, Lutheran. What is Lutheran? Anything that's
I've
not
never heard it called Protestant.
anything that's not it's a catch-all term for anything that's not Catholic. The Catholic Church was the original church. It's St. Peter's Church. That's the original church. Everything else broke off from Catholicism when was Martin Luther? The 1500s or whatever. So, but the Catholic Church, I mean, if you look into the tenets of your faith, you're going to get discouraged. So I can people like, oh, these Christians, they don't know what happened in their faith. That's because if you look into the history of your religion, you're going to go, holy shit, how do I reconcile what I believe and what I've been taught with this stuff that's been done in the name of this thing? So I get why religious, saying, oh, come on, these religious people don't know the history of their own faith. If it doesn't have anything to do with you, and it doesn't have any impact on the way you want to worship or whatever, why would you look in on it,
My whole thing in recent years, and by the way, in like a small town like I grew up in, I feel like whatever family you're born into and stuff, you're kind of just raised in whatever that religion was, and you're just kind of taught to be a good person. So I understand like the whole not looking into like what the actual fine print of your religion is. I get that because I feel like I wasn't taught all those nasty fine prints and stuff. And in recent years, I've more so just, I'm not going to say fallen away from religion. It's not really like that, but I've more so kind of given up on the whole Lutheran identity type of thing. And I've just more so tried to be a good person is what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to treat people the way they should be treated and how I'd like to be treated and just be a good person and live a good life. That's how I've become.
It would be great if we could get a religion, for lack of a better word, if we could get a faith movement that was just based on the teachings of a Jesus of Nazareth, if we could get that, that would be awesome. The problem is, once you start involving people, you start organizing, they all get to throw their own shit in.
Of course.
They all get to throw in their own thing. Why was gay ever an issue for Christianity? Why was it ever a thing? Christ never talked about it. The people on the ground never talked about it. But when you start letting people make the rules, they get to throw in their own biases. Mm-hmm. They get to throw in the things they don't like and say, hey, God can punish these people, right? Now, if you had an actual God that was available to talk to and could, broadcast, he would say, or Jesus. I mean, the Bible says stuff about, but that was written by men, so you don't know. If Jesus actually came down and said, guys, focus. I never said anything about gays. Well, what should we do about them? I'd say leave them the fuck alone. They're not bothering anybody.
Right.
Leave it alone. But we don't have that. Instead, what we get is men who get to create this thing. And I'm not saying men to be some woke feminist guy, but back then it was just only men. These men get together and say, well, we're making this about what God says, right? I'm like, yeah. All right. So while we're doing that, why don't we throw in hey, I don't like this guy. Let's say his thing is going to hell. You get to throw that in there. So I think it's too late to reclaim Christianity for Christ.
And I would agree with that.
You'd have to change. You'd have to do something.
Because you're right. Everybody got to put their input and stuff.
Yeah, you'd have to start something.
Spin their versions of things.
The foundation of the house is rotten. You got to tear it down and start over again. And I don't think you should start over again. I think people should individually just believe in their own thing. And we all leave
And that's kind of why I said, too, like there's a whole lot of stuff in my religion that I kind of don't agree with in my own personal life, like as in somebody's sexuality and stuff like that. Like that stuff has it causes me no bother, really. Even if I don't agree with something, that person doesn't bother me because of their sexuality or any of that stuff. So I don't feel it's my spot to judge them. I judge people more so on if they're treating people correctly. Like if they're treating me kindly, I'm going to treat you kindly. That's the type of thing I tend to live by.
That'd be nice.
Oh, I mean,
Trucker AA. These conversations I've noticed, I'm very comfortable. These conversations make you anxious as fuck. Like you get, like these, like the conversations about the religion, they cause you to be very introspective.
I think it's hard to say the things I'm saying because of how I grew up. And when you grow up like that, like I keep saying, I'm from a small town and stuff, and church is huge in a small town. Typically, I'm born into a family that, sent us kids to Sunday school and stuff, and you're kind of taught stuff from a young age. So when you grow up and I kind of say things like, well, I don't agree with a lot of stuff in my religion, that becomes super uncomfortable to say.
Yeah,
because you're going to get backlash for that. But like I said, that's why I just kind of live by trying to be a good person and what I think that means, I guess.
Yeah. Trucker AA was asking if we're going to have any more shows this week. Sunday night, I think, is our next one, right?
Yeah.
Sunday, what's today, Friday? Yeah, today's Friday.
Yeah, I forgot what date it is.
Sunday, 7 to 9. I'm sorry, Sunday, 7 to 9 is going to be our next show. So, yes, Trucker AA, we will have one more show, unless you count Sunday as the start of a...
And like I keep seeing like Landon's mom saying stuff about Lutherans. That's why I kind of said I haven't talked about being a Lutheran in such a long time. I really haven't. I just haven't. I said a little bit ago I don't identify as a Lutheran really. I grew up in a Lutheran church and stuff. That's what my family did. But I just like to be a good person. That's really where I leave it. That's all it is.
And I just want to make as many people uncomfortable as possible. Praise his name. Let's talk about, someone says, say a joke. Yeah, let's get into something else. It is Christmas. Merry Christmas to everyone. Of course, if you're just catching us, we're doing another 10 minutes. We're doing a little 8 to 10 Christmas show because you guys have been so supportive and so great and so awesome. We can look at the screen here. April can tell you. We didn't mean to get on that one.
No. And it's kind of an uncomfortable one on Christmas, too, because the whole point of Christmas, really, it's a religious thing in most households.
Is it?
Yes.
I know in most households. Where I grew up,
it for sure is.
I know in most households, but...
It's seemingly, since I've moved to St. Cloud, that's gone away.
Why does this conversation have to change that? Again, we're getting back to, it should be an individual, personal thing, how you see Christmas. I mean, Christ wasn't born on Christmas. I mean, the actual Jesus Christ wasn't born on Christmas. So you don't have to feel guilty.
But that's where the story came in when you go to church.
Well, you know where the story came from. So the Roman Empire was split into two, the East and the West. And they were having civil wars, and it was really nasty. And the emperor said, you know what? I think I'm going to bring everyone together. Because by this time, the official religion of the Roman Empire was Christianity. It was like in the 200s or whatever. So a while after Christ's death. And the emperor said, you know what? Fuck it. You know what? Christ was born on this day, and we shall all come together. So December 25th ended up being the day that he wasn't lying and saying Christ was born necessarily, but he was saying this is the day we're going to celebrate the birth of Christ. It's like Martin Luther King Day, I don't think was Martin Luther King's birthday, but they're going to choose that day to celebrate the memory of Martin Luther King. It was to bring the empire together. They believe that Christ was probably born sometime around Easter, around that time. I have an atheist friend who celebrates Christmas. She said it's not about Christ anymore. She likes opening presents and decorating.
That's what I think it seems that it's become for most people, is it's more so just about a day you choose to be with your family and celebrate each other by giving them things you think they'll like and, decorating pretty things. That kind of definitely seems what it's more about. Nobody talks about Jesus anymore, it seems.
I think
it's very interesting.
Some people still do. It's easy to... I understand what you're saying.
When you're in a small town, it seems like religion is a big thing, and then you move to a bigger town, and that kind of goes by the wayside in a lot of situations.
Hey, by the way, we crossed over 100,000 unique viewers today, guys. Thank you very much. That's awesome. 3,311 subscribers as well. I thought this was funny. Governor Tim Walz here in Minnesota... Bubba's on, so I don't think we got as much of the Florida people. That's fine. Governor Walz activated the National Guard on Wednesday, when the blizzard was happening. We had a blizzard here. He activated the National Guard to help blizzard-stranded motorists. I just want to reiterate, during the riots in Minneapolis, he waited, 4-5 days?
A long time.
To activate the National Guard. And then remember, he tried to blame it on the Minneapolis mayor. We found out after the fact that Minneapolis mayor said, I was asking for the guard when this shit was starting. And the governor told me no. He was busy, putting padlocks on restaurant doors. So the governor activates the National Guard to help blizzard-stranded motorists. Before the snow had even started. But when targets were literally being ransacked and destroyed, not yet. We're not going to activate the guard. That's unbelievable to me.
That
you know
really
what?
Is funny.
If I'm Black Lives Matter, I'm having a protest today. I mean, think about it. This is one point where Black Lives Matter would have a point. They could look at it and go, when our shit was being burned down and people were being hit and hurt and there were riots and everything. Well, you saw most of the people they indicted for that 3rd precinct fire were white boys.
Yeah.
So you could be Black Lives Matter right now, and you could go, wait a minute. Our neighborhood's burned to the ground. You wait almost a week. Bunch of people are driving in a blizzard. You're activating the National Guard before the first snowflake falls. What the shit? I don't understand why people protest when they do. It's like, it makes me a conspiracy theorist almost. Like it's being organized to divide people. Like they pick the dumbest shit to protest and the dumbest times and the dumbest ways to protest so that half the country will go, well, I'm watching this with my eyeballs. You guys are being fucking stupid. And then the other half will go, oh, so you're saying black people are fucking stupid? No, I'm saying that what they're choosing to do. And like every time there's something you could protest, where people would be on your side, you don't.
They don't. Yeah.
Like if a Black Lives Matter guy came to the house and he said, we're protesting. I said, what is it? Governor Walz fucking activated the guard and the snow hasn't started falling, and he wouldn't activate it when our neighborhood was being burned down. I'd say, yeah, dude, that's pretty fucked up.
A little bit.
But instead, or like when Philando Castile got shot in his car with his little girl in the back seat. If there would have been riots on the streets, well, not riot. I mean, riots never okay. But if there would have been massive protests blocking traffic on the streets, I'd have said, yeah, that was fucked up. Like, you guys, the city of Minneapolis got to clean this one up on its own. I mean, you guys got to deal with this protest because you fucked up. But they picked it's like picking the reasons they pick to protest, the people they decide to protest for. It's almost a conspiracy. Like they pick controversial people on purpose so people don't all unite and agree on it.
Right.
It's almost, I've said this before, I feel like a conspiracy theorist, but I almost feel like there's a bigger organization controlling groups like Black Lives Matter and using them and making them feel like they're doing something good. But really what these bigger groups are doing is, let's really try to like fucking empower this group and piss off this group, and we'll keep these people fighting. And that'll be good for us. Because if people start being happy with each other, they'll focus on the shit we're pulling.
Right.
And that ain't good.
They're all being trained.
What about the argument that the rioting was unavoidable and to try to stop it with military force would have escalated things? I'm not sure I agree. Now that we've seen it play out, I don't think that would have happened because once the guard came in, shit calmed down. Landon's mom says it is organized. That's exactly what they do. Yeah, but you understand me making that leap makes me like go a step closer to the conspiracy thing, and I'm hesitant. I see what you're saying. I'm hesitant.
I don't think you're wrong, and I don't think the majority of people would call you wrong either. I think most people would actually be on your side with that one.
Because, like, is there fucked up shit that happens to black people? Yeah.
Of course there is.
Sure is. But I never see that actual shit getting protested. Like, I always see shit that doesn't have anything to do with how black people get fucked over.
It's almost like racism is just being facilitated by big people out there somewhere.
It is. It does seem like
what?
It does seem like a conspiracy.
Hot take of the day.
I know.
Of course that's what's happening.
Guys, thank you very much for all your support. By the way, also, I'll leave you with this today on Christmas. Merry Christmas to everyone. Despite falling cases, Walz has no plans to lift business restrictions early.
Of course, because the lockdown's working, guys, so we can't open up. Let's have things just shut down and die.
You weren't going to have this shit restricted no matter what. They had arguments ready for both. If the cases go down like they are, they're under like 2,000 a day now. And the deaths are going down and the hospitalization beds are opening up. They're going to go, well, it's because we did these lockdowns. Of course, because we're locked down. If the numbers hadn't gone down, what would they have said?
Shoot.
We got to stay locked down.
Stay locked down because it hasn't been long enough.
Right. These cases are they're going too high, guys. We got to stay locked down. Oh, shit. Jackson Gas, April, what small town? He's asked that like 50 times. I'm sorry, Jackson Gas. We'll get to that now.
Litchfield.
Litchfield, Minnesota. I was there yesterday. It's a weird looking town when everything's shut down because so much of their stuff is bars and restaurants.
It's a ghost town when it's shut down.
It's goofy, man. It's really, really weird. Well, we got to end our little Christmas special today by kissing your guys' ass. Thank you so much for all your support. Even today on Christmas, the support has been unbelievable. Again, we didn't have any goals for viewers today. It's a holiday.
You guys asked for this the other day with your hype train.
Right. We got up over 200 for a while. I'm happy with that. You know, a little bit under night show numbers. That's cool. I'm good with that. 100 bits from Matt's Miniature Horse. Thank you. Honestly, guys, thank you for all the support this first month. if every month is like this, we're retiring early, and we're flying you guys out to Las Vegas for a vacation. You guys are unbelievable. Woo. Thank you so much. As we look at just numbers right now, it's humbling. It's very humbling. You guys are fantastic. And then that's why, look, holidays, stuff like that, we'll make sure we get on. Going from the radio where I was number one and there was very little accountability and you kind of were just, nobody gave a shit at the company and you just kind of did whatever every day. You get complacent and you get an ego about it. Doing this has brought me closer to the audience and has given me a bigger appreciation and showing me that it wasn't the radio station that was supporting me the whole time. It was the audience that was supporting me the whole time. And when the company you work for demeans the audience and shits on the audience almost constantly, you don't start to believe it, but you start to get tired of defending them because you're just going to hear this shitty, toxic, awful attitude about it over and over. And that seeps into your bloodstream and you start projecting some of it. So getting closer to you guys has been unbelievable. Having some humility in the face of this whole thing has made me funnier. It's made the show better. It's made the other people on the show better. And now we can't go anywhere because you guys have given us another hype train. Mm-hmm. Holy shit. Thank you, Trucker AA, for the 1,000 bits.
Thank you.
Not Your Basic White Chick with 600 bits. Aaron Zanis with 5 gifted Tier 1 subs. Rusty Grammar, Johnny Chimpo, Dank 100. Major Fucker with 1,000 bits. Toe Girls Lace Up with 100 bits. And guess what, guys? April's crying!
I'm not crying, you're crying.
April's crying on Christmas. April's crying on Christmas. So thank you guys very much. We're going to hang around now because we got to hang around for him, right?
Well, yeah, of course.
Do you have to get ready for our Christmas thing we're doing this morning?
I'll curl my hair later. That's about it.
That's it?
Yeah.
All right. Just shower that beautiful downstairs for me?
Sure did.
Yeah, atta girl. Sinister Mind gifting 5 Tier 1 subs. Thank you. Not Your Basic White Chick with 400 bits. Appreciated. Toe Girls Lace Up with another 100. And people are giving bits for April tiers. Look at that.
These guys are the best.
You know what I say?
What?
Fuck your white tears, move. No, I'm just kidding. 200 bits from Not Your Basic White Chick. C-Mac Run with 100 bits. Meat Drapes gifting 5 Tier 1 subs to the channel. Thank you, guys. We're pushing 3350.
Wow, thank you, guys.
At this point. Thank you so much. 200 bits from Fish ITD. Fish-a-titty. Fish-a-titty? Fish-a-titty. That's my boy Fish-a-titty. We have you hostage, says Not Your Basic White. You sure do.
Yeah.
You sure do. Sinister Mind, this is a hostage situation. It sure is. 81% of the way through level 3, 4 minutes and 15 seconds left. No, but that was my heartfelt thing for Christmas.
Yeah. Like I said, everything's so humbling. It's insane.
Yeah, you guys have been really fucking... Now, wait a minute. My question is this going to continue? We have this thing where everyone constantly is... The better things get... Corey and April have to keep propping me up in a way. Like the better things get, the less I believe it, I guess. Does that make sense?
Well, that's why you got a backbone to hold you up, I guess. It's there's no reason to believe that any of these people will go anywhere. If these people support you, they love you, why would they go anywhere?
You know me, when it comes to like things going well, I'm like, almost like I don't deserve it, or almost like this can't sustain, this can't hold, blah, blah. But we have an interesting story. We have a very good show. We're funny people. I don't know why I'll think like this is going so, like very rarely do people go, this is going so well, it's going to be bad. But that's, I mean, you can tell these people that's kind of what I do sometimes.
I've said many times, we've gotten the bumps out of the way. We've gotten the hard stuff out of the way. You've got such a clear path to greatness. Honestly, as gay as that sounds. One of
the things I will let myself indulge in is that this show looks and sounds so good here.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I mean, I don't mean that as like how great we are. I mean that as the visual and audio quality of this show, in my opinion, is great. Now, I trust my audience to check me on that if I'm wrong, and not to just kiss my ass about it. I think it sounds great.
I think it's finally there.
I think it looks great. Not Your Basic White Chick, 200 bits. Trucker AA with 200. 200 from Not Your Basic White Chick again. Silo Full of Tortillas with 2 subs gifted. Thank you. COVID-free since December 3 with 100 bits. Sinister Mind says, that's imposter syndrome. Don't feed it. You're right. You're right. I got imposter syndrome. Thinking I'm not the guy that these people see me as.
The thing is you are. These people wouldn't be here if you weren't you. You know? They
when
love
will
you.
when will the .com be completed? It is. It's below the channel here. There's a tag for it. It's just we got to put some stuff on it. Trucker AA, only a couple of weeks till the real Oz is back. Yes, Oz is back in 2. We got to go through one more week and then another week.
Decide which week?
Yeah, because he comes back from Florida on the 9th. So we'll have him back the following week. Twizzle with 100 bits. 10 from Aaron Likes Kong Dong. 100 bits from Rory's Big Toy. Thank you. Someone says we're worried about you getting canceled. I think we've learned the Twitch stuff.
They're always going to be worried.
I think the Twitch stuff has made us so much sharper. I think we're safe here. If I don't lose my head.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I've got a good grip on the rules, and I feel like this show is focused less on edginess now and more on just being funny and entertaining people, and less on being shocking. Mr. Approachable, LOL, you feel like you're on the elevator, even though your key has allowed you access to the penthouse level. You're ready for the cable to snap and drop you down the shaft. It's weird, right? But it's not, tell these people, it's not all the time.
No, and the thing is, too, is I don't think I would ever... I'm such an honest person. I would never tell you things if I didn't truly believe them either. I don't think there's any reason for you to believe that this can't be great.
So my penis is a good size? Okay.
It's all right, yeah.
Not your basic white chick with 200 bits. Volume levels are a lot more even through both mics. Well, that's good,
That's
right?
good because Twitch used to be really quiet.
Sinister Mind, I suffer from it hardcore. It takes a lot of work to get out of it if you feed it. Merry Christmas to everybody who's saying it. Freaky Deaky, 200 bits. I think you are underestimating their power and being complacent. Maybe you're right. Get Oz on Bubba Army when in Florida. That would be really cool, actually, if we could get that worked out. Trucker AA, can we get a little Ventura before you go? 500 bits, 600 bits.
Well, let me tell you something. You want to talk about Christmas, April? I'll tell you something about Christmas.
What's that?
The fat guy who comes down the chimney. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Is that you?
You think that's a real thing? You think there's one guy flying around? It's a team of people. And you know who Santa Claus really is?
Government.
SEAL Team 6. SEAL Team 6 is going down the chimney and dropping all those presents off to the kids. Because only a Navy SEAL can get around the world without being detected. Mm-hmm. That's what the SEALs do.
Are they spreading COVID?
No.
Are they wearing their masks?
SEALs can't get sick.
Okay.
SEALs are inevitably immortal.
All right, there you go, Trucker AA. By the way, he sold some steers.
Yes, he did.
You know that? 100 bits from Not Your Basic White Chick. 38% of the way through level 4. We got 30 seconds left. Thank you guys so much for the support. Too Easy Now says, haha, she said your dick was all right. That's true.
Well, I'm not going to be too coupley and tell you guys how great it is. Like, that's just silly. It's pretty great, though.
An anonymous cheerer just gave us 1,000 bits. Thank you so much. That's a very sweetie pie thing to do. Lick the Stick with 100 bits. 55% of the way through level 4 with 10 seconds left. I want to thank you guys for the 2 hype trains today.
Yes,
very,
thank
very
you.
nice. I want to wish you all an incredibly Merry Christmas. We've got a lot of Christmas left to go yet. Hanging out with family, hanging out with friends.
Yep.
It's going to be a great time.
Gotta go celebrate our birthdays tonight at the casino.
We're celebrating our birthdays
Get a really
with
nice suite together.
Oh, that's right. You're buying me dinner.
I am buying you dinner.
Nice.
I am giving you another present later.
Ooh, is it a baby?
Yes. How did you know? You spoiled the surprise.
I looked in your uterus. Bob Rivers with 500 bits. Thank you very much. Guys, again, thanks a million for the hype train. Thanks for all the support.
Thank you for everything.
We're not done this year yet. 2020 still got some time left. We got a full slate of shows next week. We'll only be off Friday for New Year's Day.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we got a show Sunday from 7 to 9. Share the show, follow the channel, subscribe if you can. But most of all, tell people about the Steel Toe Morning Show and bring them on over. Tell them if they subscribe, they can listen to the podcast all weekend. Talk to you later, everyone. April, say goodbye.
Merry Christmas. Goodbye, guys.